What's up, everybody? It is your girl, your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe Day Paris. It is finally Friday. We're almost at the end of our mark. Not going to make this content too long because I know the traffic on YouTube, especially on Fridays, can be really ridiculous. So I'm going to try not to make this content too long. But I thought it was very imperative that I did this content because what we have to understand as Black women, we are at a state of emergency. I repeat, Black women are at a state of emergency. And we are making ourselves become discardable. And what I mean by Black women, how we are making ourselves become discardable, is that we are putting ourselves in discardable situations. It's too many Black women that are supposed to be queens that are conducting themselves as peasants. And until we understand that the life we live and the way that we carry ourselves as Black women, it can constantly come back to harm us and hurt us if we are not very careful with our actions. And it just really saddens me that we as Black women, through all of the ratchetness that we constantly have surrounding us every day, that we're not taking things seriously. We're not taking our lives seriously. We're not taking the decisions that we make seriously. And this is the reason why, as Black women, we struggle to get the respect that we deserve. We struggle to get to be appreciated. We're struggling as far as getting these Black men to respect us due to the fact that a lot of us, the truth of the matter is, we don't have respect for ourselves. We just don't. And we keep putting ourselves in situations to where we could become discardable. And what is starting to happen is, slowly but surely, Black women are becoming discarded. They're throwing us away. We are becoming like trash to the Black community. And the reason for that is because we are making very poor decisions with our life and the way that we do things. And a lot of it has to do with the fact is, a lot of us as Black women are struggling with promiscuousness. There's a lot of Black women, not all Black women. So if it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply. But there's a lot of Black women that are participating in promiscuous behavior. It's a lot of promiscuousness. And I know that we are in a different time, we're in a different era. And the feminist movement has us believing that because we are more independent now, we're able to have the same rights as men. Things have changed since the segregation, since the feminist era. A lot has changed. However, just because things have changed, that still does not mean that we should go around here conducting ourselves as thoughts. um just because you're independent and you're free, that still does not make you free to do whatever you want to do, and you figure that it will not come back to haunt you. What's up, underrated darkness? What's up, Kanisha? What's up to everybody that's joining in the chime room? um just because you are independent and you got your own car, you drive your own car, you got a good paying job, you probably even pay for your own house, you making your own mortgage payments, that still does not give you the liberty to go around and screw as many dudes as you feel like you can. Because at the end of the day, your independency is not going to be enough to grant you respect. It's not going to be enough. And it's too many women, it's a lot of us, we're getting respect and independence. We're getting that mixed up. Independence is not the same as respect. And respect is not the same as independence. Just because you have your own job, you make your own money, you may even run your own business, you may even own your own hair shop, you may even got your own hustle. Whatever it is that you're good at, it does not mean as a Black woman that you should not sustain your self-respect. Because the truth is, a lot of us, as time goes on, at the rate we're going and the road we're traveling, Black women, we're becoming more and more discardable. Society is doing away with us. Society doesn't want to have anything to do with us because of the way that we are carrying ourselves. You know, we're getting independence mixed up with promiscuousness. Like I stated, just because you're independent, that does not give you the right to be promiscuous. You cannot sleep with all these random men and figure because you're a grown woman, you can do what you want to do. And even if you're in a position you can do what you want to do, it does not mean that you should do it because you can. Just because you have that freedom or that right to sleep with as many dudes as you want to sleep with, it does not mean that you should be privileged to put yourself in that position. Because the problem is, we have a lot of young black women that are coming up in the generation behind us. And they're watching how we conduct ourselves as older black women. If you're over the age of 30, I consider you an older black woman. What's up, Poetic Kales? Appreciate you for coming in. I may even I'm gonna throw you the link, Kales. I know it's kind of random, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to you in case you want to join me. I'm just doing a little random thing. I know I didn't ask you earlier or whatever, but it's up to us as black women. We're gonna have to be on the whole. We got to get on a different level, because the problem that we're dealing with is too many thoughts out here that's making it bad for the black women who want to do right, who trying to live better, who are striving to have better. That's the obstacle that you're going to be up against as a black woman. No matter how good you do, no matter how successful you are, no matter how many degrees you got, no matter how much receipts you got to show that you're a different black woman, the problem is the ratchet ones are going to stand out more. That is what we're dealing with as black women. You're going to have to accept the fact that all of your good deeds and all of your good efforts is not going to be noticed as much as these ratchet black females. These ratchet black women is making it hard for the black women who want to be different, who are striving to be different. We're at a state of emergency, because I'm going to tell you something, black women. You're going to have to work twice as hard to prove that you are different. I'm going to let you know that now. If you are a black woman, you're going to have to put in triple the work, triple the effort to prove that you're different. Because the problem is, a lot of people are not believing in us right now. A lot of people are not believing in who we are, what we stand for. A lot of them are not believing in us, and it's because it's so many ratchet sisters out here that's making it look bad. So the more you try to be different and you try to stand from above the rest and you try to stand outside of that box, it's going to always be somebody that's going to try to put you in the same box with the ratchet black women. Somebody's going to always put you in that box. So in order to avoid that, it's very important as a black woman. If you are a black woman these days, I'm going to let you know now, sis, you're going to have to put in more work to prove that you are different. Because the moment people see you, before they even sit down and talk to you, before they even sit down and get to notice you, they're going to automatically feel like you have an issue just by the fact that you are a black female. They're going to already size you up. But women, I'm letting you know, sisters, y'all gonna have to put in work to prove that you are not the typical black woman that a lot of that society has labeled us to be. And a lot of it is going to start with your lifestyle. As a black woman, you have to live your lifestyle a certain way. Because the problem is, it's a lot of ratchet black females out here who have ruined it for us. So you're going to have to do something to prove that you are different. What's up to everybody coming in the chat room? Your lifestyle, meaning that you cannot be one of those sisters that thinks it's okay to go around and screw every Tom, Dick, and Daryl. You can't do that anymore. The ratchet sisters have messed that up. You cannot go around screwing all type of men and think it's acceptable. What's up, Ebony? Appreciate you for the donation, everybody. That is my cousin. She's in the building. Ebony Simone. That's my family. That's my bloodline right there. She's always supported my brand and always believed in me for my craft and what I do. So big ups to my cousin Ebony for the $10 donation. Thank you so much, cuz. I appreciate your support. Um, you can't. That's the first thing. Women, as a black woman, your lifestyle is going to speak volumes about what kind of woman you are. That's going to speak volumes. The moment a man approaches you, and you have five, six, seven little ones, and the father of those children not near one with you, he's going to already have it in his mind that you are a woman that's irresponsible. You got a lot of baggage. He's already going to size you up. So it's very imperative as women. That's the first thing. We need to be careful with our sexual lifestyle. Like I stated, just because you're independent, it does not mean, it doesn't make it right. I don't care how many degrees you got as a black woman. I don't care if you own your own business. I don't care if you own your own company. That don't mean you can screw as many men as you want to screw. I don't care if the guys are doing it. We can't get on their level. We cannot get on a man's level. The problem with a lot of us as black women, we want to try to get on the same level as black men. We cannot do that. We can't. If you fall up behind the feminist movement, if you want to, fall up behind these YouTube streets, let these other thought-minded females poison you with this fuckery of you can screw as many men as you want to screw. That don't make you a hoe. As long as you got your own job, as long as you make your own money, you can do what you want to do. No, you can't do what you want to do. You still got to be particular. You can't sleep with every Tom, Dick, and Daryl. And in all honesty, this is a quick link if you want to join. In all honesty, as a black woman, you should even want to get on the same level as a black man. Why would you want to do what they do? Because they can screw 20, 30, 40, 50. Well, I can, we could do what men could do. Bullshit. You can't do what a man can do. You know why? And I know I'm gonna catch some heat for this. What's up, Miss Sassy Diva? Appreciate your presence. Full circle. Everybody who's in the chat room. I'm gonna tell you why, as black women, we cannot do what black men can do. We can't do what black men can do because, for one, it does not affect them the way that it affects us. A black man, a man, any man for that matter, he ain't even got to be black. Any man could go around and screw as many women as he wants to screw, and he will still be considered a hero. Because I don't know what it is, women, our way of thinking, and it's not just black women, women in general, our way of thinking, for some reason, we want to go for the brother that every woman wants and every woman has been with, and we want to be the one to break them in. We want to be the one to make them a newfound man. We want to be the ones, even though we know this dude probably been hoeing and screwed half our friends, we want to be the one to change him. We want to be the one to give that brother an epiphany that we are the ideal woman for them, where they can rehabilitate their life of being a male whore and want to wife us. It's always a sister who can get lucky, and our brother may be willing to change his ways for that one particular woman. But guess what? Women, no guy wants to rehabilitate a whore. Okay? No man wants to deal with a woman that has more mileages on her vagina than a 1976 Volvo. It's not too many dudes that want to rehabilitate a whorish woman that has had a whorish lifestyle. You got a few simps, but meeting a man that's willing to accept a woman with that type of track record, it's like hitting the $2,000, scratching off a $2,000 uh scratch off card. The odds are going to be very, very slim as far as a man that's going to be willing to accept your baggage. So that's why, as women, black women, we got to be careful with the lifestyle that we live, because dudes is not checking for women who got a lot of baggage. Every man is not trying to come into your life and become a janitor. Every man is not trying to come into your life to help you correct all your mistakes. And even if you do luck up and get one who's willing to accept all of your baggage because you don't have all of these children from random dudes, is it fair to him? Is it fair to him? And another thing is, a lot of we as black women, we're not understanding, when you go around and you have all of these children from all type of random dudes, do you not understand that you put your children at a disadvantage when you carry yourself in that manner? Do you think it's healthy for all of your children to have different fathers by different all your children to have different fathers? What's up, rep? Nothing new going on. Just doing a random topic, but for these sisters out here who are not understanding that they're making themselves discardable. We are putting ourselves in discardable situations where society is throwing black women away. They are throwing us away. We are becoming like Mississippi trash. And this is not to bash and assault all black women, because if it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply. If you know you're a black woman, you carrying yourself like a woman, then this message is not for you. But for those, it's a lot of black sisters out here who are lost in the sauce. They are lost in the cause and they're not understanding why they can't get ahead. One moment, everyone. Just 1 second, everybody. Inch. Okay. Salt, pepper, sugar, lightly toasted. Okay, that should be it. Okay, yeah, I'm back. The problem is, let me see. I sent you a link. What's up, Priest Dion? What's up, fellas? I sent you the link, Poetic. So check your Yahoo and see. It should be there. We're making ourselves become discardable. I don't care if she had a baby father, she's still our sister. Absolutely third degree burns. But my point, and this is very true, but my point is, I want us as black women to avoid even becoming the statistic that society wants nothing to do with. It's called being proactive, meaning you prevent yourself from getting in that situation to begin with. That's the whole thing. It's if it already happened and you got 5, 6 baby daddies, whatever the cases may be, it does not mean that you still can't learn and grow. But I want to get a hold of the sisters who did not who have not placed themselves in that position yet, because it's not enough of women on black women on the YouTube streets. They're not schooling other black women how to avoid getting themselves in this situation. They're not telling these young black women, do not get yourself in a position where you get knocked up by these better dudes, these dusty dudes, because if you do, the burden is going to be on you. We don't have a lot of time, ladies. We don't have a lot of time. We're getting older. We don't have time. And some mistakes, what we have to realize as men and women, some mistakes in life, there are no do-overs. There's no do-overs. Once you put yourself in a certain situation as a black woman, as a black man, you can't, you some mistakes you can't correct it. Once it's done, it's done. Once you make a choice, you are stuck having to live in it. And that's why I'm trying to school these black women. Yeah, I'm not understanding. Y'all see the struggle that's around you every day. As a black woman, you see the struggle around you. And I'm gonna tell you why. All us as black women, we know other black women who've been on some thought ass behavior. Rather if it's been your sister, a female cousin in your family, you had a homegirl you went to high school with, rather if it's a female that live on the same block as you, we witness a lot of thought behavior and we see where it has landed a lot of these black women. And what I don't understand is as black women, we see how the thought behavior, how the ratchet behavior, we see how it has affected other black women, and yet we keep making the same damn decisions. We're not learning. We're not learning. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out if you participate in thought behavior, meaning you're going around being very promiscuous. You're participating in promiscuous behavior. You're screwing all kind of dusties. You're screwing all kind of beta males. And the truth of the matter is, it is not these men's fault. And I will constantly keep saying that a lot of the stuff we go through as women, we bring that shit upon ourselves because we are participating in reckless, ratchet behavior. We don't care who we lay down with anymore. We lack a lot of discretion. A lot of black women are losing respect because they don't have any morals, they don't have any values, and the way other black women treat other black women, we treat each other like Mississippi trash. And we wonder why other black men do not respect us. We wonder why other races don't respect us because, for one, as black women, we don't respect our damn selves. That's the first thing. And secondly, we have no respect for each other. And third, we got all this energy to come on the YouTube streets and bicker back and forth about bullshit that's really not fulfilling for young women in the black community to learn from. We're on the YouTube streets bringing a lot of drama. We're bringing a lot of negativity. This is the same amount of energy you put in these YouTube streets. You got time to gossip about what the other sister doing on her panels and what these other brothers are doing in their panels. We could take that same amount of energy and be educating these young black women, because we got a whole nother generation of black women that are coming right behind us. We need to get a hold to these sisters before it's too late, because some of y'all, I have to charge y'all to the game, because some of y'all are lost in the sauce. Some of us as black women, we ain't trying to get it because we have learned to believe in our delusions. We have learned to believe in our lies. We have become so comfortable with lying ourselves. We're not trying to change. We're not trying to learn and grow and move to the next level. But I see that one of my girls here from the non-ratchet movement, usually poetic and classic Ruby, I sent her a link to, so she may come, may not. This is the reason why I started the non-ratchet movement. The non-ratchet movement is the movement for positive black women who are not trying to get involved in the ratchet movement. You got some black women who have waken up and smelt the coffee and said, I don't want that life. I ain't about that life. I ain't out here trying to screw every time Dick and Daryl. I don't want 8, 9 baby daddies. I don't want to live off the system. You have some black women that are waking up and their eyes are wide open. So for the sisters that are woke, I allowed them to be a part of my non-ratchet movement. So, with no further ado, what's up, Kels? How you doing, hon? Thank you for coming in on a spontaneous note.
How you doing, Lady Mocha? You know what? I was really feeling your topic. You was really spitting that fire. Remember when I was telling you that these raggedy ants are stampeding? They outdoing us. Now everybody,
Yes,
yep, now everybody gonna categorize us as raggedy ants, and it's like you,
yes,
we gonna have to work hard,
girl, yes.
very
You
hard.
ain't never lied. Yes, the Raggedy Ann's. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work very, very hard. And the thing is, The reason why I feel like some of these sisters are not reaching out to the young generation, remember when you was talking about how to talk to young women about not getting pregnant real young and how to not,
Mm-hmm.
be raggedy. I just think that because women are very jealous of each other.
Mm.
I just kind of feel like they don't want to reach out to the young generation because the young generation might be better than them.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes.
That's
You
how
you
I feel.
you know what? You work for that one because you know what? It's sad poetic, but it's like that. The,
Yep.
the the black women who have fallen into that pit of of the, I know the word I'm trying to say, but the black women who have fallen into that entrapment of the struggle or the
Mm-hmm.
thought life, as you stated, they don't want to educate the new breed of black women that are coming up behind us because, again, they, like you said, they fear that the young black women who got a chance,
Right.
who has a chance to not repeat them same mistakes, they fear that these young black women that are coming up behind them are going to do better than them.
Right.
And as black women, we are cursed with the disease of wanting to see each other succeed. We are cursed with that. We
Right.
cannot stand to see another sister rise above our poor ass decisions. Instead of encouraging, girl, don't do what I did. I let Daryl, Keith, and Mike, and John, I let all these dudes knock me up. I'm struggling, paying, taking care of these kids. I got to live in housing to make a better way for me and my children. They don't want to educate the other sisters because they want these other sisters to fall into the same entrapment that they don't fell in.
That is why these young women are thinking like they're not pushing for marriage. They thinking like, oh, it's just a piece of paper. A piece of paper can't define,
Mm,
a relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's where they're going with it now. And I'm saying, my goodness, who are y'all following? Because marriage is a
mhm.
lifestyle. That's a solid foundation. Every woman wants.
Yes. Yes, and that's true. It's a lot of it's these possums. Let me tell you, it's these bitter ass
Right.
possums. It's these bitter ass possums that's pulling that. Now, for some of y'all out here, y'all don't know what a possum is, so I'm gonna explain it to y'all, okay? Because some people miss that content. We have what's called hood rats, and we got what's called possums. Okay, a
Right.
hood rat is any female that's under the age of 30 years old, that's promiscuous. No, I think I said 25 years old. That's participates in promiscuous behavior. Okay? She has no morals, she has no values. That's what we consider to be a hood rat if she's under 25 years old. Once you're over the age of 25, and you still participate, you still partake in promiscuous behavior, you're still screwing every Tom, Dick, and Daryl, you're not a hood rat anymore. You are a possum, which means you're your own version of a hood rat. That is what you have become. And we have a lot of bitter possums, Kels, who already accepted the fact they're not going to get married. They're
Right.
already washed up. They already know it's not going to happen at this point. They over 40, and in case of some of them pushing 50s, they got a house full of grandchildren,
Mm-hmm.
great grandchildren, and a lot of them, they know they're not about to get wifed up at this point. It's not going to happen. So they're not going to try to guide and school these other young women that are coming up and saying, hey,
Right.
don't do what I did.
Right.
Back in the day, I was letting any guy bang my back out. I had all kind of men in and out my house. I had all kind of men in and out my vagina like I had a correctional facility center. That's how
Right.
many men I
Right.
had in and out of me. They're not going to admit, they're not going to share that knowledge and wisdom with other younger women because they don't want other young women to succeed. It's a saying, what? Misery likes company.
Yup.
So I'm not going to put these young black women on and tell them not to do what I did. I want them to fall into the same trap. So guess what? We all can get together and sing the goddamn blues and bash all these black men who we allowed to knock us up, who we gave them the privilege by not protecting ourselves as women. That's what they want. They want other young black women to join the bitter possum movement. What's your
Yes, that's
take on that?
what it is. That's exactly what it is. Because remember what I was saying. You know, women, they want you to fail. Other women want other women to fail. They like to ruin other women's lives. And I feel like you're doing that with our young generation by glorifying, ratchetness, and you know what I'm saying. You're not
Right.
pushing forward marriage, letting them know that it's a solid foundation. You're making them think that it's okay to have kids and baby daddies and play house and just be toe up. That's what you're glorifying, and that's what you're pushing into their face, and it's not cool.
It's not cool. I was on a panel earlier with Obsidian and his guys, and I was saying that the problem with black women, and if it does not apply, do not reply. If you know you
Mm-hmm.
don't fit in this category, there's no need to get in your feelings. Back to what I was saying.
But
The
if
problem
it
with
fits,
black
like,
women, because you know it's always going to be Bokisha who gonna come up in the chat room. Why are you talking about all black women? Why did you put all us in the same category? What about the black men? You know it's
I
gonna
will
always be that sister.
quiet, Shanae. Just sit back and just listen, Shanae.
You know it's gonna always be that sister. What
Right.
about the black men? I'm not talking about the black men.
We're talking
Go
about
go go on somebody else's channel for that. I don't have time to address black men because I'm not a black man. But as I was stating, is that there's too many of us as black women in the community. We're glorifying the struggle. We're not being honest. We're
right.
not breaking down the dynamics to these young black women. With simple example, if a young black female gets pregnant, who's the first Kels to initiate a baby shower?
The
Who's the
mother,
first?
the parent, the mother,
Absolutely. It's always the mother. The
the mother.
mother, well, if that child is 13, 14 years old, she will help her daughter celebrate that struggle. The first thing she will do is go to Party City and buy a bunch of decorations and help her daughter celebrate the
Right.
struggle of a birth. Knowing her child is not even out of high school, okay, doesn't have no husband, the dude that knocked up 9 times out of 10, you know he gonna be a better male because when you're a young female and you get pregnant, you don't have the womanly qualities to know what to look for as far as selecting the right type of man to father your child. You're not, that comes with age and experience. You get what I'm saying? As you
That's
get
true.
older, you know what to look for. You under 16 years old, you're not gonna know what to look for as far as the qualities of a good man being a good father for your child. Because at that age, you're emotionally underdeveloped. You too busy looking at dumb shit. You get what I'm saying? When you're a young female, we get attracted to guys for dumb shit like he got on the newest Jordans. You know, I know back in my day, I was young and dumb. If a nigga had on raggedy kicks, I felt like he was broke. Now that was
Yep.
my mindset. Remember that, Kels?
Yep. Yep. Back in the
If-
days, school was like a fashion show.
yeah. Remember, if he wasn't rocking those new Jordans, you wasn't giving the brother a time of day. If
Not
his kicks was busted,
or day.
I ain't that was nothing he could say to me.
That is so true.
He
That's
couldn't
so true.
remember the first thing we looked at was their damn feet.
That's the first thing we do when he walk up to us. We look down to make sure them some brand new shoes and they
And,
Jordan something.
right. And you remember that conversation? You be like, girl, guess who I met? I met this good looking guy. Well, God, what really? What's his name? His name is Mike. The question be like, what kind of shoes he had on?
That'll be the first thing they say. If you say anything that ain't name brand, they'll be like, "Ooh,
Yeah, but see, that was the mindset of being young and dumb. We looked at stuff like that. Now, when I was young and dumb and didn't know no better, and the guy had on busted kicks, I felt like dude was broke, right? But
right,
as I got older, maturity set in, and I realized it's the exact opposite. Niggas who be
exactly."
clean all day, them niggas be broke.
Niggas,
Now I look at the guys that be dirty. If he dirty with his damn, well, I'm married now, so I'm not on the hunt. But when I got older, I was looking for the dirty shoe niggas because I knew his ass had a job and he was working. He had it on his dirty construction boots. I was looking for them construction boots because those was the brothers who made the bread.
yes,
If he had
exactly.
on them dirty ass construction boots, I said, honey, I got a winner. And hands was dirty, and he had on like that hard hat, and he have on his vest. His vest. A dirty man. I learned as I got older. A dirty man is the man who got his ish in order. Not no nigga that's clean all day. If he's a nigga that's clean all day,
Right.
9 times out of 10, he's selling drugs or he living off another female. Now, unless he's doing one of those professions where he don't get dirty, like if he's a lawyer or he's an attorney. I'm lawyer and attorney, the same thing. What I'm talking about. If he's a lawyer or he's a doctor or he does a profession where he works behind the desk, then that's kind of different. But
Yep.
even with that, you're not gonna see them clean all day. I'm gonna take this call right quick, poetic. Can you proceed for me right quick?
Oh, absolutely. What's up, y'all? I'm looking at the chat, so I'm just gonna respond. So my fam crew talked about "In dust we trust." Dust is a sign of hard work. Yes, you know what I'm saying. I like a man who uses hands and work. I who knows how to fix cars, build buildings, build sidewalks, something. But I'll definitely take a man behind the desk. To tell you the truth, those are the ones that make the most money. I never owned a pair of Jordans. Me either. They gave you a rental property instead. Oh my gosh. Marty W. I got a hole in my tennis shoes and thousands in the bank. That's why you got thousands in the bank. You ain't worried about no tennis shoes. Yep, the flyest young man will always be the brokest because he spent his allowance on them shoes to get her. Well, yes, you know what I mean? People will take their whole paychecks and, spend it all on shoes, pants, shirt. I mean, no Jordans either. I know I've never had a pair. I never owned a pair of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the I wasn't too big on expensive shoes and clothes or whatever. I'm like you. I want to keep some money in the bank. I know how it feels to be broke, and I'm not going to glorify the struggle, sisters. It is very unpleasant to be broke. What you need to do is get a career first, that's something that pays good to where you could pay your rent, pay your phone bill, pay your car note. You know what I'm saying? Don't rely on anybody. Don't be so quick to have kids. My mom always told me career first and then family later.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. Goodness gracious, yeah, I always get calls and stuff, and I come back. But basically, my point of bringing that up about the shoes, about the guys, how back then when you was young and dumb, and you didn't know no better,
Mm-hmm.
you basically looked at the wrong thing. When because again, you was emotionally underdeveloped. So this is the reason why black women, we should be educating these young black women as much as possible because they're going to think like we used to think. They're going to be young and dumb. They're going to look for the wrong qualities in a man. They're going to be looking at, is he rocking Jordans? Is he rocking the new Gucci? He rocking that shit because his parents are still paying for it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So half of these young men, some of them don't even work and don't even have jobs. So when you young and dumb, you're a YD. You young and dumb. You don't know no better. You do not need to become a mom because again, it takes maturity and experience to know what to look for as a woman. So like I said, 9 times out of 10, when a young female gets knocked up, she's going to get knocked up from a dusty or a better dude. And in actuality, it's not her fault. It's her mother's fault. Because as black women, we need to be sitting down schooling our young black daughters. But the problem is, as black women, some of us have gotten very lazy with parenting, and I'm gonna tell you the reason for that. I'm gonna tell you why a lot of women, black women, not all of y'all, if it does not apply, you don't have to reply. But there's a lot of laziness in parenting with these black women. And the reason for that is because we women are having children faster than their brain could comprehend.
Right. That's a good point. That's I feel like that's real true right there.
It's like you haven't even caught on to being a parent. You've had more children than your
Then
mental
then
capacity
knowledge.
can
You got more
stand.
children than knowledge.
Exactly. A lot of us as black women, we cannot raise our children because we got too many. When you have a lot of children, you have like 6, 7 kids. Being a parent could be exhausting. I got one child and it's been exhausting. Just getting her through elementary, middle school to high school. And
Right.
what's going on is women, some of these black women are breeding babies like roaches. And in the process of them breeding babies like roaches, their mental capacity has not caught on. You know, it's like their womb is 20 steps ahead of them. You know, you're having all of these babies, but your mindset hasn't caught up. And what happens is, especially if she has become a mom at 14, 15, her
Right.
brain is nowhere near because she has not lived her life. She has not gained enough of knowledge or experience to deal with the stress
Right.
of what
Oh,
parenting comes along with. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Being a parent is a blessing, but it's stressful as hell. That's why when I see these females on Facebook or social media and they brag about their kids, I'm like, sis, come on now. You and me know that shit is not always glamorous. They want to brag about their kids. I don't need no man. I got me and my kids. I don't need nobody. That's a bunch of bullshit. The reason
and,
why you are stating you don't need nobody is because you can't get anybody.
but at,
Nobody's not going to come in and stepdaddy all 8, 9 of your children.
but you and see that's the thing. That could be a cry for help.
It is. It is. But you know what? They're not being honest, Kells, because behind closed doors, they're having a mental breakdown. When they get when and if you pay attention to them long enough, usually they'll tell on themselves. They eventually end up admitting it because I've seen some women who brag about their kids all the time, but then they have those sentimental moments because women are emotional. So at
Very.
some point, we're going to slip and tell on ourselves.
Oh yes.
So
Done it all the time. I slip and tell on myself, yes.
yeah, eventually you're going to tell on yourself. You're going to admit, and you're going to be like, I'm so stressed. I'm so tired.
I can't get no
I
sleep.
can't get no sleep.
I,
I can't go
no,
out. No, you can't go out.
I can't get no daycare. I can't even go get me a part time
Yep,
job. I'm not getting no
yep,
help.
yep.
Yeah,
And then there's some
it,
that got the audacity to bitch about it. Like I've seen some who say, my family won't help me. Nobody won't help me. Who
I,
owes you to keep your 8, 9 kids for you? Especially them young girls, them young black women, they're the main ones to get attitudes. When nobody won't keep little Pookie and Ray Ray.
it's like, have you seen? I mean, if you, it's just a lot of lazy parenting. That's
It is.
you know what I'm
It
saying.
is. It is. Because you know what it is, poetic? That what it is, excuse my French, they like the fuck, but they don't want to deal with the children that come behind the fucking. You
Oh
get what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's the thing about it. You know, and I don't care how much you love the penis. I don't care how much you love wood. You should love your freedom more than you love wood. You know what I mean? Because trust and believe. I'm married now, but I had my thought moment. I think all young women have had that thought moment until you
yeah.
become older, you become
Some of us,
wild.
but some of us, we keep it safe.
But absolutely. But see, I had parents who kept up with me. I had a mom, who sat down and talked to me and kept up with me. And I'm like, what you doing? What's going on? What's going on with you and your boyfriend?
Yeah,
My mama asked me questions to
my people
where
real
she
strict.
knew I was doing something,
Mm.
and as black women, we don't have what I'm starting to notice with parenting these days. A lot of black women, they don't even have conversations with their children. They
No.
they just have them and collect child support, and they have the benefits. It's, in other words, what I'm saying, it's the difference between raising children and having kids. There's a difference.
That
Just
is true.
because you can keep having children, that don't mean you are raising them. And the problem we're dealing with is too many black women that are having children, but they're not raising these damn badass kids. They're not raising them, because what happens is, especially, and I hate to say this, I may lose my brownie points, but these single mothers, that they are one of the reasons why there's so much violence and chaos within the black community, is because what happens is,
I,
some of these black, yeah,
I
go ahead, proceed. What you were saying?
no, I was telling you I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. They're the reason why we have these gangs. The reason why these young men are going after other young men and shooting other young men, because, for one, this is the honest part about black. Let me just break down the dynamics. Let me
Mm.
just, I'm gonna take the panties and the bras off. We're gonna get naked right quick,
Oh,
okay?
we about to get real naked,
Yeah,
butt naked.
we're gonna get naked. We're gonna get naked, okay? First of all, let me break down the barriers of being a single mom. This is the part that a lot of them are not going to be honest and discuss. When you are a single mother, and again, if it does not apply, you don't have to apply, because you got some single moms out there that handle their business, whatever. But for those outside of it, what happens is, when you have a lot of children, you get overwhelmed.
Right,
Okay, you
right.
get overwhelmed.
I
You
seen
get
that.
exhausted. Okay. See, a lot of black women, they're not going to say that. How many black women will you say admit, my kids get on my goddamn nerves? You're not going to hear too many of them say that, right?
I
You're
hear them say it.
but they're rarely going to admit it. You know what I'm saying? Unless they like really, really, really like going through. But the majority of them not going to admit it. They're going to try to make
That's
it sound glamorous. You get what I'm saying?
right. They're
But
gonna make it seem like they're good mothers.
yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, because admitting your kids getting on your nerves is like almost like saying that you regret having them. So ain't too many of them just gonna blatantly go out and say that. You get what I'm saying? So the thing is, as a single mom, you become overwhelmed because there's no other counterpart that is there with you, helping you to deal with the stress and the anxiety of parenting, because with a parent, as a parent, you have your good days, but you definitely have your bad days. And when you don't have a significant other that is there with you, helping you to deal with the stress and the burdens of it, what happens is you become overly stressed to the point you start taking all of your stress out on your children. Because what some of these women are not admitting is that they hate the fact that they had too many children too fast. And the truth is, once the kids get here, you can't throw them back. Becoming a parent, that's not a job you quit. Like a regular job, if you get tired of that job, you could walk off and you could quit. Being a parent, you can't quit. When you have 5, 6 little ones there, this one crying, that one won't go to sleep, this one acting up in school, and all this and that. When you get overwhelmed, what happens is parents start. Some of these single moms, they start letting themselves. They leave them kids to themselves because they can't deal with the stress and they can't deal with the headaches of parenting. What's up, wonderful Watson? Exactly, exactly, exactly. Wonderful Watson says it's human nature to be overwhelmed if a parent is parenting several children. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
see, this is the part that black women will not admit. This is the part we want to glamorize. We want to post several pictures on social media of our 8, 9 children, but we're not admitting that behind closed doors you are tired,
Yes.
exhausted,
Over and overwhelmed.
and overwhelmed. They're not going to admit that. So this is the next thing that happens. They start leaving the kids to themselves. Because I don't understand, but as black women, we still, even when we put ourselves in these situations and we got more kids than we could afford or mentally deal with, We still feel the privilege to want to do us. And you cannot do you once you decide to become a parent. You cannot do you, sis. That means you cannot still go to the club and get free admission before 11 o'clock. You got to stay home with those badass kids that you created. Because when they get overwhelmed, they want to be relieved. Now, which one is it? You want to be a parent, but then you want to do you when it's too much.
Yeah, now you want some me time. There's no me time. Your me time.
There's no goddamn meantime. There's no damn meantime. What's up, G Porter? Appreciate you for coming in. Era Black, what's up? I would be cautious of if our kids getting on my lady nerves, and I will make them help her out and treat her nice things. But see, Era, see, that's the blessing when you have a man that is there and he's your husband. If y'all are not married, but at least y'all are together under the same roof to take care of these children. Because what happens is the responsibilities are balanced. So even, in my household, it was times when it got rough, me having to deal with my daughter, so my husband stepped in. And times when it got too much, I stepped in, he stepped in. Now, I can only imagine if there was no interference and I had to do it completely by myself. I probably would have jumped off the bridge long time ago. Because there was times when I was just overwhelmed because kids go through different stages. They go through that stage when they feeling themselves and smelling themselves. It can get hard.
Right.
And I had that relief of my husband able to intervene and relieve me and say, I got it. And when I could only imagine what these other Black women got to go through when they got 6, 7 little ones. That's driving you crazy. And there's not another man under that roof to step in and say, you lay down. I got it. I'll take care of it. And this is what happens. This is why we have to educate these Black women out here, these young Black women that are coming up. Stop looking at the glamour of pregnancy. Just because you see young women around, your girlfriends getting pregnant and having babies, and they're having these baby showers, and it seems like they're getting all this love and validation and admiration, they're not telling you the real funk of being a single mother. They're not telling you that when them babies are getting up 3, 4 in the morning and crying, nobody's there to relieve you, and you got to be to work at 7 in the morning.
Right.
It's 5 in the morning, and you got 3 hours left to sleep. Because guess what? You're the only one that's working now. Okay, so you got to go to work, and kids don't care about what you got to go through as a parent because they're just kids.
Right.
Kids cannot understand as a parent when you're tired, you want them to just shut up and go to bed. Kids don't understand that because they're thinking from a child's perspective. They want to play, they want to act up. Oh, thank you, wonderful Watson. Appreciate the donation. Appreciate it very much. Thank you for being here and supporting my brand. So, what is your intake on that, Kels, as far as these women are not admitting how overwhelmed they are being a single mom? What's your intake?
I agree with that. They're definitely it. You know, it may be another underlying reason. Maybe they don't want somebody they know to hear that they're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they don't want
No.
family members to know that they struggle, but at the same time they're trying to glamorize it, but then crying out for help. I'm just a little conflicted sometimes because I see
Mm-hmm.
these posts on Facebooks and I be seeing the expression in their eyes.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, sooner or later they're gonna tell on themselves. Sooner or
Yeah,
later, I've seen one I've seen one female on my that she on my I'm Facebook friends with a lot of people I don't even goddamn know in
me
real
too.
life.
Be seeing
But
all kind of
I,
baby pictures.
that's what I'm saying. I may have 1 or 2 legit ones out of all 4,000 that I'm friends with or whatever. But I see this one young lady, she goes on Facebook. And when she goes through her moments of her baby daddy's not giving a damn, she comes on Facebook and she'll be like, I don't need oh F them, F my baby daddy, he ain't this. He ain't that, and I could take care of my kids myself. The hell with him. I'ma take care of me and mines regardless. And I'm like, first of all, as black single moms, we need to stop looking for privileges. We need to stop looking for brownie points because we take care of our children. Once you decide to have a child, you're supposed to take care of them regardless, whether if the father steps up or not. That is your job. When you lay there as a grown woman, you lay there and you open your legs to a man that's not your husband, that's not committed to you. You take a chance when you lay with these dudes for whatever reason. I don't even understand why women are giving away the cookie so easily and not even thinking about how it's going to jeopardize their lives. They're not even thinking about how it's going to, cost them so much peace and sanity in the long run. They is just laying with these dudes and letting these dudes raw dog them. These females, they're not on any birth control. We was talking about that on the panel. All these, what's up with all these women coming up with all these excuses for not getting on birth control? I done heard women, some of these females say, "I'm allergic to latex."
That
I
that
tell you what I'm allergic to. I'm
real dumb.
allergic to badass kids. That's what I'm allergic to.
Yeah, I'm allergic to that bullshit.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
dumb. Yeah, that's a dumb one. Yeah, that's call for roast.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard all kind of excuses. I heard them say the first one I heard was the one I just told you. I'm allergic to latex. I heard this the new one. I don't know if you heard this excuse. Birth control will make you sterile.
What? Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard that.
I'm telling you, these other black women, they're going around and trying to discourage other black women from getting on birth control. I've seen it 1,000 times. And let me tell you something. When I see stuff like that, that shit boils me. It boils me like a lobster in the tank at Red Lobster.
I see. I could feel that because I feel boiled hearing that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you discourage other black women from protecting themselves? And this is why I say, as black women, if you got children, you got to educate them, because when your daughters and when your sons go out there in the street, people is gonna lie to your kids. People gonna lie to your kids and tell your kids, "Oh, you don't need no birth control. That stuff make you sterile. The condoms make you break out." And all kind of bullshit. Because you have to realize, this is the part as a parent that a lot of us don't realize. It does not matter how good you raise your child. It does not matter how much knowledge and wisdom you give your child. The problem is your child is going to be around other kids that got parents that's not schooling. And
Right.
what's going to happen is, when your kids get out there in the world, they're going to be around other kids that have been raised by thoughts, that have been raised by peasants, that's going to try to misinform your child and make your child feel like they don't know what they're talking about.
That is
So that's why it's very important that as parents we have to school, because once your children leave those doors, my own daughter told me a lot of the bad behavior she learned, regardless of all the good teaching I put in her, she learned through her school. She learned from school.
you can't even learn what you're supposed to learn in school no more. The raggediness is stampeding.
And, exactly. We have a herd. We have a herd full of thoughts. We have a herd full
Real
of peasants.
talk. Real talk. It's like an avalanche.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. We have more peasants than queens. And the thing is, your children are hanging around kids that are being raised like that.
Right.
That's the part that you're not going to be able to conquer. Your daughter, if you got a daughter, just randomly put it out there, just an example. If you got a daughter, do you not realize her girlfriends, her one or two girlfriends who she hang around, her mother is going to be the complete opposite of you. Her
Oh,
she's gonna instill, she has instilled different qualities into that young lady that's hanging around your daughter. See, that's the part. See, people don't think this far when they have kids.
no, they don't.
They don't think about shit like that. They just lay there and have these kids and not realize, the kids are a blessing, but they could turn around and be your worst goddamn nightmare if you bring them in this world all kind of way. You bring them into this world wrong, and you have them from any and everybody, you can definitely, it could cost you your life. Now, looking into some of these comments, um, Era Black says baby boomers had that knowledge, Mocha. That generation wanted their kids and knew the responsibility of getting pregnant. After that, women have had more sexual freedom and selection, but had more abortions. Oh, absolutely. That's definitely true. Let's talk about these 35 to 45-year-old grandmothers. Okay, we can talk about that part because I know some people, and y'all, I appreciate y'all for sharing y'all knowledge and everything in the chat room. Y'all bringing up a lot of significant points. We have a lot of 35 and 45-year-old grandmothers. For one, let me tell y'all one of the reasons for that.
Babies having babies.
Babies having babies. A lot of it has to do with the fact you got to realize young thoughts were raised by
Oh,
old thoughts.
possums.
Yes, possums.
Yeah,
For
they possum.
every hood rat, there's a goddamn possum who's in the background of raising her. She did not become a hood rat alone.
You know what I'm
There
saying?
was a possum somewhere leading the way. And what I mean by that is, if like I said, every possum started off as a hood rat. If you are a mother and during your youth you participated in promiscuous behavior, you slept with every Tom, Dick, and Daryl and whoever,
Right.
and you had, like, let's say you had like 5, 6 kids by the time you was in your middle 20s. Because 9 times out of 10, when they start screwing at 13, 14, I can guarantee they're gonna have about 5 or 6 before they hit their 30s.
Dang.
Um,
They
uh,
shouldn't
they
know
start
about
like roaches. It spreads and it gets worse.
it's
I
getting worse.
don't know no 13 or 14-year-old that had that one child and stop. You know, the majority of them, by the time they hit their 30s, they don't have 6 or 7 of them. You get what I'm saying? So,
Real talk.
but with that being said, if you as a woman at a young age, you have 5, 6 kids before you 30, and out of those 5 and 6, if you got daughters and you did not sit down and school your daughters, you didn't give them the knowledge, you didn't give them the wisdom to not follow that same generational curse that you produced, that you started, your daughters are going to follow your goddamn footsteps. And
Automatically.
this is what happens. If you as a black woman, if you start getting digmatized at 13, 14, 15, and like I said, now you're in your 30s, your daughter's about grown. If you didn't school them, they're going to do it. They're going to have kids at 13, 14, 15 years old. And that's how these grandmothers become grandmothers at 35 and 45 years old, because they're repeating that same cycle. You can only learn whatever your mother puts in front of you, Kels, that becomes your norm. If my mom, if she would have been one of those black women that had uncle over every goddamn weekend, and I did not have a father, I didn't have somebody there showing me how wrong my mom's behavior was, I could have very well fell into that same footstep. And the problem with a lot of these young black women, they're being raised in households where the black woman that's over them, she don't know shit her damn self. So you can't teach your daughter something that you don't know.
Real talk. Fact.
Yeah, and that's the problem. A lot of these young black women, they screwed up because of the older black women that are raising them. Now, I was lucky for one. 1 second. Let me take this little tiny call for 1 minute.
I agree with everything that's being said to the fullest. Maybe because I've never been in that type of situation, but I've seen I've seen a lot of my close friends go through situations where it's like, my gosh, you're like dumb. I don't know. I'm probably not the best person to get advice from.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, that was my my daughter boyfriend is buying me bringing me some lunch or whatever. Nice young man. But yeah, as I was stating, is that the problem with the majority of these young black women is that they are being raised by older black women who don't know nothing. Now, I was one of the fortunate ones. Even though my mom was a single mom, the reason why I did not fall into that trap because my mother did not glamorize the struggle of doing it by herself. You know, she was frank with me. I saw what she went through having to take
Right.
care of all five of us. I saw what she went through having to wait for the child support, having to make arrangements to pay the light bill. You know, I witnessed the struggle. And the majority of us as black women, we already see what other black women are going through around us. So there's no excuse for us to keep repeating that cycle. If you was probably raised in the house with a single mom and saw what she went through. If it wasn't your mother, you had a sister that went through it. You had a cousin that went through it. You had a neighbor. Thoughts are everywhere. So we got thousands of examples
Real talk.
around us to
Uh,
show us that being a single mom is not living your best life. Let's be frank. And I know some women are going to feel some type of way like, why is you knocking on single mothers? Hey, if it does not apply, you don't have to reply. You're a single mama, you're not complaining, you're not bitching, you're not saying niggas ain't this and niggas ain't that, then you holding it down. I commend you. But a lot of the things that we go through with black women is because we are lacking what's called accountability. And we are not taking the proper precautions to protect ourselves from falling into that same entrapment. You already know. Well, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out chaos. If you lay with a man raw who you don't know, only one or two things gonna happen. Either A, you're gonna be stuck being a single parent, or two, you're gonna have to make a decision and possibly abort that child, and that's gonna be on your conscience. Either way, the consequences are not going to be good if you do not protect yourself as a woman. It is not for the man to protect us. You better
I,
believe when I
about
was
that,
out there, huh?
you're right about that. Women should always protect themselves. Always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't.
I've I've never looked for a man to protect Mocha. I always protected myself. I made sure if I was going to go there with you, I'm going to have me. I'm going to have me. And the problem with black women is too many of us looking for these black men to protect us when we're not even protecting ourselves. You got to learn how to have what's called self-love. And the problem is a lot of black women, they are lacking that in the black community. I don't have I'm not I didn't wait for a man to come to me strapped and say, "Oh, I got condoms." I already had condoms and birth control. I made sure there
Real
was
talk.
not going to be no problems if we decided to take it there. And
That's
then we
right.
can't. Yeah, what you go ahead.
No, I said that's real talk right there. You said the birth control and the condoms. You feel me?
I was strapped because for one, like I said, it started from home training. I had a father who told me about how dudes get down, how men operate.
Yeah.
I had a mother that schooled me. She didn't glamorize the struggle. She wasn't one of those moms that was, oh yeah, girl, go get that money, girl. You know, go girl. So what if you get pregnant, girl? Just give them child support. I had a real mom. And the problem with a lot of us as black women, a lot of us ain't had no real mothers. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. That's why a lot of us are tore from the flow up. A lot of these black women ain't had no real black women,
And
no
they
black mothers, because some of these black mothers, they was too busy doing them. And too busy trying to live their life. Now I see sis Quip. Well, I ain't even gonna try to say his name or her name.
oh, I'm looking at that.
I ain't had my wine
Say
yet.
that.
Well, it's sis. Quipedalian mug. I'ma just say mug.
Yeah, mug.
Um, yeah,
You,
the comment is 33 years old, seeing my cousins go through it. Reason why I have no kids. There you have it.
yeah, see, some of us learn from what we see.
Yeah,
I knew I didn't want to live that type of lifestyle, so you know, I've always
right.
myself.
Now, I'm also want to comment the third degree burns. He stated, I recommend condoms only. These birth controls that they issue black women are designed to fuck up your uterus and stuff. Um, my
Okay,
comment to that is that's not necessarily true.
that's
I've been on every birth control in the market.
not a problem.
And I was able to have my daughter without any problems. It's different types of birth control, and this is why I'm having this content, because so many people believe that birth control ruin. That's a myth. They want black women to ruin themselves by not getting on birth control so we can have a house full of children and never become successful. Do y'all realize it's all a game? It's a strategy. They don't want black women to be wise. They want us to fall into that entrapment because a lot of us are not being educated. We think that getting on birth control is going to make us sterile. That is not true. I cannot preach that more than enough. I've been on every birth control in the market. I've been on Depo Provera. I've been on Implanon. I've been on IUD. That is not true. If a woman already has medical issues prior to the birth control, that may play a part in it, but it's never been birth control that are causing women to be sterile.
I
And
agree.
my thing is, why would we want to discourage women from getting black women from getting on birth control? Y'all mean to tell me y'all want to take care of some more kids? Because every time these chicks have these babies and they're not paying for it, they're getting Medicaid in the hospital that's delivering these babies. Do y'all not realize it's coming out y'all taxes? So why would y'all even want to discourage these black women, these young women from getting on birth control? Y'all want to keep paying for folks' babies?
Yeah,
Because that's where your taxes is
I
going.
agree.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm still not going to try to. I'm not going to say that name. I'm gonna just call you Mug because I ain't had my wine yet. I've had my wine yet, but thank you for the correction. I know my brain is just my head ain't on too straight. Muhammad says, as the youngest sibling in my family, I never had kids because of my older siblings and what they went through with their kids. Yes, because you know what? That's true. Because believe it or not, I got four other siblings,
Mhm.
right? I am the only one who has a child. None of them jokers don't want no kids. They don't want none because they saw what I went through. Rissa, go ahead and grab my sandwich. I think yeah, Tamar's out there. Thank you. They saw what I went through. None of my siblings, they don't. None of them have children, and all of them are over 30 years old. I'm the only one who had my one daughter. They saw what I went through. They was like, I don't want that. They did not. Once they niece came here and they seen what I went through taking care of their niece, they wasn't trying to hear it. I became their birth control. I made my brothers and sisters not want any more children. Once they saw what I went through with my daughter, and then honestly, after I had my one daughter, I couldn't do it no more. I realized the stress and everything that came with it. Hold on.
Yeah, you be looking and understanding that that's not the type of lifestyle you want. You don't want to. You don't want kids. Who just have her 5 kids so she could get assistance. 5 kids, 4 different fathers. Ugh, that's raggedy.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. Hopefully, no more interruptions, no time soon. But yes, it just took one time for me. I can't speak for these other women out here. But when I had my one child, I saw how much stress came along with it. I saw the responsibilities that came along with it. And I just knew, I said, I can't see myself doing this two, three more times. One child was enough for me. When I realized, the responsibilities, when they first get here and they newborns, they got to be, you got to take them to the hospital almost every week. When kids get sick, you got to take them to the clinic. You got to give them their checkups. It's just so much. And then what I would notice is at times, because my husband worked a lot, so he couldn't be there all the time with me every time my child got sick. And I would notice when I would go to these clinics and these hospitals, when your kids get sick, and I'm sitting in the lobby and I see all of these young black women have three, four little ones because, they couldn't find no babysitter. They had to
Mm.
bring all three, four, or five of them to the hospital just
They
for
have
one child that's sick. you know, because children are unpredictable. They get sick at any time. So if your child is crying 2, 3 in the morning, guess what? You got to get your black ass out the bed
to see,
and take
yeah.
them to the hospital. Ain't no, I'm tired. What's up, Prince? Ain't no, I'm tired. I don't feel like going. If that baby is crying 2, 3 in the morning, you're gonna have to get up out your sleep. It don't matter that you got to be to work. You might have to go to work like 7 o'clock that day. If your child is crying 2, 3 in the morning, you're gonna have to get up, take that child to the hospital. And you know what hospitals, you there all goddamn night because
Mhm.
them doctors got several other patients. So they're not gonna see your child right away. So I've been in the lobby where I would see young single black mothers coming in with their kids, and they got 4, 5 of them.
Yep, they're
And
gonna be all day.
huh?
I say, yep, they're definitely gonna be there all day.
Yeah, it's just this is the part that the black community don't prepare these young black women who are becoming mothers. They just let them see the glamour. You see the cute clothes, you see the cute shoes, you see the cute little outfits, but you don't realize them jokers get sick. And when you tired, you stressed out, you want to get extra sleep, none of that matters. You got to get up and tend to those children. It don't matter that you got to be to work the next day or whatever. You got to take care of those kids. So I would see how, and it's crazy because I would see these young black women, they in the hospital by themselves with their 4, 5 kids. Not near one of your baby daddies is there with you, helping you to go through this.
And they're not answering the phone either.
They ain't getting up out the bed. Hell, I'm married and my husband didn't get his black ass out the bed. He turned over and went to sleep. I said, Stevie, I got to take Rich to the hospital. Okay, let me know when you get there. He turned around and go. he had been working all day. He tired. And and I wasn't working at the time, so I couldn't bitch or complain, because working, he paying all the bills and stuff. I had to get the baby bag, get her car seat, drive to the hospital literally with one eye open. I
Oh
was feeling as
wow.
tired as a prostitute who been standing on the street corners. That's how exhausted. I'm serious. I was tired as a prostitute, yo.
It's
I felt like my walls had been all stretched out. I'm like, I got to take this girl to the hospital. I ain't had a choice. Get to the hospital, the all night, watching other people with their 5, 6, 7 kids. And I'm like, where y'all babies' daddies at? Then on top of that, none of you, these young single mothers got to go to the hospital. They catch the bus there.
oh
These
no.
dudes won't
What?
even give you a ride. What's up, Delilah? Won't even give you a ride to the hospital. I'm like, I don't understand some of these young black women. Why y'all keep having all of these children knowing you're not having no support? You're lacking support. You don't have a family that's going to help you. That's going to help you, and an event
But
one of
see,
them gets sick.
thing, that's the thing. The family needs to tell them that. Look, we're not gonna help you.
Exactly. And that's true, Delilah. They make it look good on Facebook with their pictures. And the devil is a lie, because I had one. I know the truth that comes along with it. They get sick. Not you deal with that when they newborn, but what about the new stage when they in middle school? Now that's a whole nother stage. I got so tired of that school calling me. I had to put the school on call block. My daughter was acting up every other goddamn day in middle school. I mean, they go through different stages. Because she was getting picked on. You know how kids be doing that bullying stuff and stuff like that. And then some of the teachers are just flat nasty. You got to argue with teachers and stuff like that. It's a lot of chaos. That comes along with parenting. That's why we don't need to make the struggle of single parenting look good, because it's a lie. It's not all that glamorous. And then the fact that what these other women are not understanding is these black women are not understanding is when you go around raw dogging and letting all kind of different dudes impregnate you. What you're not understanding is the dudes that y'all are allowing to impregnate y'all, they have other kids from other women. Do you not realize that your child support, you're not hardly going to get anything?
You might get $10.
Yeah, yeah, you may get $10 and a medium fry from Burger King. That's as far as it's going to go. Now, what's up, Art? Good to see you. Thanks to everybody. Big ups to everybody in the chat room. I appreciate your presence. Um, yeah, that's the other thing. They're not realizing that these young mothers, they don't realize that, you know, the dudes that's knocking y'all up, they done already knock other broads up. So if your baby daddy, I don't understand this. This is the new thing. Why these mothers are becoming mothers for the first time with dudes that got 5, 6 kids? I'm not understanding that. Why would you want to get knocked up from a dude? Cause let me be honest with you, Kels. There's some dudes out here that got more kids than women. You know that, right?
I do, but I think the reason why these women be getting knocked up by these dudes who already got 4, 5 kids because she thinking that he just gonna leave them kids alone and come be with her and her kid.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. It's in the comment. What is not taught is white people have kids to get them something. Blacks have kids to get. Oh snap! Damn! Ding 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 ding. That's an awesome point, Mug. Mug says, what is it? Check this out. It says, what is not taught is white people have kids to give them something. Blacks have kids to get something. And I'll be damned, because that's the God's honest truth. A lot of women are having kids to get something. And this I'm glad you brought that up, because this is another point. I noticed that the women who have a bunch of kids, they cannot afford to really give them the best of anything. They really can't. When you have 5, 6, 7 kids, you cannot afford, because your money don't stretch that far.
But these women that's having these kids, they can't afford anything anyway.
Well, yeah,
So why are you
yeah.
having?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Most of them can't. It's always the ones you ever notice, Kels. The people who are the most poor got the most kids. You notice poor people got a lot
Right.
of kids.
That's what I was trying to say too. It's like the ones who don't got nothing have all these kids
Yeah, it's like that, and that's very true. It's always the ones who can't afford it that get pregnant every year,
every year.
and then will bitch and complain about it. They will bitch and complain about it. And talk about I had a girlfriend. She was already struggling with one. This broad was, I mean, she got pregnant every year,
It's
and
like you
then
already struggling with the first one. What you getting pregnant again for?
yeah, I
You,
mean, absolutely. Princess, I knew a chick that had a baby just because Party City had a sale on my baby shower decorate. Now you know what, Prince? Not today. I'm not gonna do you today, Prince. Prince is my chat clown. He always cutting up in here. Um, it's always the ones who really can't afford it. And my thing is, why have so many children and you cannot afford to introduce them to the finer things in life? When I had my one daughter, I was able to pay for her to participate in things. I was able to pay for her to be in cheerleading. I was able to pay for her to go to summer camp. I was able because I just had one. And then my family helped me a lot. So sometimes I was able to go to my dad and say, I need some help, blah, blah, blah. Everybody help you when you have that one child. When you get on that second, and that, especially that third, you pretty much out of gas by then. Ain't too many people like trying to help you, you know. So I was fortunate on that. And that's another reason why I didn't have that many, because I knew I didn't have the support. Now, another thing is some of these young black women, the reason why they keep having children, because they got somebody who's keeping them. Like some of them, they stay with their mama. So their mama keep their kids so they can go to the club. And that's how come they keep getting knocked up, because they know they got a mama that they live with that's keeping Kiki and JJ.
Mm-mm. At a
And
certain point, mom is gonna get tired of that.
and if not that, you know what happens? As the kids get older, Kales, these parents don't have the patience to keep your babies no more for you. See, a lot of black women don't think about that. I don't care if your mom or your daddy keep your kids all the time. The older they get, the less they're gonna have the same stamina to keep them, because the kids these days they bad as hell. They're a lot to deal with.
And don't know, and the parent can't get mad because don't nobody got to keep your kid.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And what happened? Your parent, I knew this one chick. Let me tell you, you got some women. What I noticed, this is what I noticed. Some of these black women out here doing. A lot of them are working 2 or 3 jobs just to get away from their own kids.
That's horrible.
I'm telling you, don't a lot of them be trying to fool you like, oh, I'm independent. I don't mind working and take care of mine. You work so much because you're trying to get away from your own badass kids. A lot of them, they don't want to take care of their kids. They will work 2, 3 jobs. They would rather work and pull shifts than to stay home and keep their kids. I knew a female who did that. She intentionally worked 12-hour shifts just so she wouldn't have to deal with her kids.
Wow. So she could just pretty much get off, go home, and go to sleep.
Well, yeah. What she would do is she was staying with her mom at the time. And what she was doing was she wanted to be relieved, because this is the thing. When you have a kid and you staying with your parents, you're not being relieved because you're staying with your goddamn parents. You get what I'm saying? It's
Yep.
not like if you got your own house, you could drop the kids off and keep going. If you a parent and you still staying with your parents, you're not going to get a break. Yeah, exactly. Third degree burns, avoiding responsibilities. She kept doing that, right? She was working her ass off just so she could not keep her own goddamn kids. I'm telling you, there's some black women who do stuff like this. It sounds retarded, but I'm just telling you. So
Mm-hmm.
she kept doing that, and then what happened was her mother got older, right? To the point her mother started having like all kind of medical conditions and stuff. So that mom didn't have the same energy, you know, to keep the kids. And by then, her kids are getting older now. As her mother's aging and she's medically going through all, you know how senior citizens start going through all type of medical changes and stuff. And what happened was the kids are getting older. Wow, the mother is her mom is getting sicker. So what happened was the kids kind of started running over the grandmama, because her as the mother, you got to realize you as the mom, you supposed to be the ones to have the energy to fight and wrestle and keep up with your kids. But what happened was she had become so accustomed to leaving them there. Now, when it was her time to step up and parent them, she did not know how to do it because she had gotten so used to having her mom them do it all the time. So once it became her turn, and that's the bad thing as parents. I tell all these young black women out here, do not get in the habit of leaving your kids on other people, because When you do that, the people you depend on to keep your kids, if something happens and your kids end up on your lap, you're not going to have no control over them jokers because you have not been around them enough to make them respect or listen to what you have to say as the parent.
That is facts.
That's the thing. So why you thinking it's cute right now? Because you can throw your child off over here and throw your child off over there. Then just keep in mind, if something happens and you got to be a full-time parent, those children are not going to listen to you. Because you done avoided being responsible for them for so long, they're not going to listen to you. Now, this is another thing, some of these young black women. If you don't have the patience to take care of your children, why not give them to the father? Especially if the father has more patience than you. I don't understand that. It's a lot of women I know that the father of their kids are willing to help them, are willing to take custody of the children, and these women they will not give the kids to the father because they want to have control of the situation and they want the money. It's a lot of females, a lot of these young black women, they know they don't have the money to take care of the kids. They don't have the patience to take care of the kids. And yet they still will not give them to the fathers, especially if the father is in a better position than her. They won't do it.
Yeah, they do. That is true. And I think a lot of times maybe because the kids ain't gonna never want to come back to her.
They fear that, and I know the other reason is they're worried about child support because they know if the child goes back to the father, guess what? He's no longer obligated to
Well,
sending you that money once a month.
but that's good. Now you can continue working your 12-hour a day
Yeah.
job.
Yes.
Why would you need child support? You're not taking care of the kids no more. You got what you asked for.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Kels. That's the big trade-off. That's a big trade-off. If the
That,
father of my child, if he wanted my child and I'm struggling, if I'm struggling and I'm catching it and this and that, and the father is doing better than me and he making good bread, why would I not want my child to enjoy the benefits of that? If he's staying in a nice neighborhood, he got a nice car, I want my child to be over there so my child could live in a nice house and enjoy sitting in the back seat of his Porsche. Why should I give a damn if
right?
he's doing better than me? Why am I going to keep going to the child support asking for an increase?
No, yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I totally agree with you on that. I will let if the father's in a better position, and because some fathers they might not want to keep the kids,
Mm-hmm.
but then you got some fathers who do. But the ones that do, why not?
Right.
Why not let him take?
I agree. I actually know somebody personally who was in a situation where her daughter was getting off the chain, and the father said to her, "Give her to me because I got the time where I can take care of her." You know what I mean? So go ahead and get a child to me. Know what she said? Because
So
she had four other kids. Her excuse was, "I don't want to separate my kids." Because
let her.
the other four wasn't his. The other four wasn't his. And he just wanted to get that one. She said, "I don't want to split my kids." What she really was saying, she thought I knew what she meant. What she meant was, if I let you get her, that's going to take away the child support because I need the child support to help take care of the other four that
Oh
I'm not getting no child support from.
oh no.
See? That's
Yeah.
the other part. It's let me tell you something. When you have a bunch of goddamn kids, this is another thing. When you have a bunch of kids, right? Sometimes, let's say if you got like 5 kids and it's only two paying child support, what happens is that the ones who are paying the child support, their money end up going towards the other kids who are also not getting any child support.
And and that is not fair for the man to have to pay for all your other kids that's not his.
Absolutely. But
So
but
that
but
get his kid.
exactly. They do it all the time though.
Yep. See, that's why his point, the point that Mug made in the chat was real.
Hmm. Yeah,
You know, to
yeah.
have kids to get something.
It is. It is. I see here. Let me see. Mug got it's because they don't want to be seen as a bad parent. That's one point. Cruz says my ex tried that shit and ain't even know what school my daughter would go to, not even what grade. I mean, it's amazing. The stuff that a lot of these men got to go through. To try to be a part of their child's life. But I guarantee you, most women who have put these conniving stunts, it comes back to backfire. It comes back to backfire on them. Every mother who would not give that child to their dad because they want to keep child support, those are the same kids now that are grown that disrespect the mother, talk back to the mother. Now they too grown. They too grown for you to throw them back to the father for the father to get a hold on them. They too grown because some of these women, they're more concerned with the money than they are the child's well-being. And that is the problem with some of these black women that are mothers in the black community. They're more concerned with the money. They know if they give the child back to the father, that that income has to go back with that father. And they're worried about that because they're not getting any child support from the other three or four baby daddies. So basically it's I just noticed basically the fuckery with the parenting when it comes to some of these black women. As I stated earlier, they're having more children than they could afford. They're having more children than they have the mental capacity for. And some of these women, when they can't deal with the stress, these are the ones we hear about on the news. These are the ones we hear about that have killed their children,
Yep.
that have,
Real talk.
yeah, this what happens when they can't deal with it. They hurt their own kids. Some of them will go that far. Um, they'll leave their child in a hot parked car while
Yep.
they in the club. Or I've heard a story where the girl who left her kids in the hotel because she lost her Section 8 housing, so she left them in the hotel. And the little boy went outside and got lost or whatever. I mean, we hear about stories like this on the news. We
Damn.
hear about it on
Left
YouTube all the time.
kids in the hotel and just like left her there for somebody to find.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, yeah, that child. Yeah, yeah. What happened was, I guess that child opened the door, and showing up, the other three or four came out, and I guess the guests that were living there saw something was wrong, and saw these kids just running around. And sure enough, it was brought to the hotel supervisor attention. That mother wasn't even there. She at the club. She left from right in that room unattended. And know what that means? That means I didn't want any kids. That means I had children that I did not want, that I do not want. A lot of them pullers, because any woman that's ready to be a mother, you're not going to catch her at the club and she got a house full of children. You're not going to catch her going to Freaknik, going to Orange Crush. She's womanly enough to respect and understand her responsibilities are her children. You're not going to catch a real mom in these type of places because they have come to realization that their children come first. But for these other females out here who's raw dogging everybody, then you be leaving your kids every chance you get. That means you was not ready to be a mother.
You know what I'm saying? You weren't you had all the signs in front of you saying that you weren't ready to be a mother.
Yeah, yeah. If you still want to know what's going on in the club, you still try to keep up with the club. You still get outfits from Rainbows,
Ugh.
City Trends. That's so tight on you. They look like the jeans been painted on.
Yeah, that's
Girl, they be looking hella stank in the club. You can see the
like
thirstiness in the club. Girl, I don't go that often, But when I do go, you can always tell a chick who ain't getting laid because she dressed the most thirstiest. She
Yeah,
The way she dressed is like an advertisement for I need some dick. I need some dick. You can just tell when a woman dresses so overly provocative that she's so damn thirsty. She sends thirst volumes. She has like a thirst alarm that goes.
yeah, yeah.
It's that
So,
thirst alarm.
so look at her thirsty, dehydrated.
Yeah, it's a lot of dick hydrant. I call you. I call them dick hydrated.
Yeah, dick hydrated. That's perfect.
Yeah. Dick hydrated. We have a lot of dick hydrated females in the black community. Cause
Yeah,
what happens is when you done been laid, sometimes a female that's used to being laid is sad. But let me tell you the truth. Some of these black women that's so used to being laid, when they go through that dick drought, they go through the dick drought and they ain't been getting any for a while, they will start to think something wrong with them because they're so used to getting laid. So what they do is they dress provocative. They do a lot of stuff to bring extra attention upon themselves. Because you have some females, they don't feel important. It's sad, but you have some females, they don't feel important unless a man is laying them somewhere.
yeah. Those are the ones with low self esteem. They need like validation from a man to feel like a woman.
Yeah. You got some women, if their backs ain't being banged out, they automatically feel like something's wrong with them.
Mm, mm,
So
mm, mm.
they start dressing more provocative. They start doing a lot of, they start partaking in a lot of thought behavior.
Yeah, like real dehydrated.
Yeah, you can always tell dehydrated females. I can spot them from a mile away. As if you're a real woman, you can tell a thirsty broad from a mile away because you're
Yeah.
looking like this broad is just doing too much.
It's like you're doing a bit much. Don't nobody want your man but you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'ma definitely mug. I'ma write that down because I'ma look into that. What you just let me write that down. Austin KGS. Yeah, thank you for that info. Cause I'ma sure look into it. Like I said, I'll be learning a lot from y'all in the chat room, just like I'm sure y'all learning from us. Yeah, we have a lot of thirst going on. We had a state of emergency where there's a lot of black women that's doing some thirsty ass things to get attention, to get a man to notice them, to validate them. But what they don't understand is what a lot of black women are not understanding, is that respect takes you much further than attention. Attention is
Yeah,
only
it's
for the moment. Respect will last you it will last you for a longer amount of time compared to attention. Because what happens is and a lot of women don't want to admit it, but by nature, if we look at things from a biblical standpoint, God put Adam here first. Okay. So women, we were placed on this earth um for a man to automatically desire us. But what's been going on is it's too many women that are seeking to be desired. A lot of women are not coming off as desirable; they're coming off as discardable. Especially,
discardable.
yeah,
I understand.
that girl that just popped up. That just popped up. It's not a lot of us as black women that are being desirable. We're becoming discardable. Men are throwing us away. They're treating us like trash
Like a
because,
can.
yeah, what you say?
I said no. You said they throwing us away. I said yeah, like a can of beans.
Yeah, honey, they throwing us away. We
It's
are
like, hold on
becoming.
now. Wait a minute. Don't throw everybody away now.
Yeah. And, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not all black women. It's these ones who are making themselves discardable. And I'm gonna break down the elements of that. Once you have several children from several men, you are discardable. They're not going to keep you. Just being frank. When that man realizes that being with you is costing him too much money, because you got too many mouths to feed. He's gonna throw you away. He's
Yeah.
not gonna deal with all that. See what it is? That's why I'm trying to school these black women to realize: stop making yourself discardable. Stop doing thought shit. Stop having
Please.
all of these kids from all of these different guys. That that's one way to make yourself discardable. Another thing is, even if you don't have kids, if you're going around here sleeping with all kind of men, you're making yourself discardable. Don't no dude want to bring you to a cookout or family reunion when all his cousins and uncles could say, "Oh, I know her." That's
Oh,
not a good look.
that's real discardable.
So yeah, that's like some women you can't bring them nowhere because everybody know them. Oh, that's Keisha. Dog. You know who Keisha is? Man, what you talking about? Man, what you talking about? Man, Keisha used to be with Black down the street, bruh.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. You did that.
How that conversation is gonna go.
That's what I'm saying. Some of these women, these dudes can't even bring them nowhere because everybody know them. She don't have more visitors than the goddamn free clinic.
You know what I'm saying? She like 1 foot away from a lifetime membership to the free clinic.
That's what I'm saying. She got damn VIP access. They got a chair with her name on it.
Ready for her because they know she'll be
Exactly. And she got the decal in her windshield. Soon as she pull up to the clinic, they already know who she is when she get there.
there.
That's, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's too many black women making themselves discardable. It's too many dudes who know you in your neighborhood.
You
They
know.
don't know you because you go to church every Sunday. They know you because you done been with almost everybody in that neighborhood. You become discardable when you don't have no type of independency. When you don't work, you don't work, you never work, you never had a job, um, you uneducated. Any man of real substance, he's not going to want to pick up a woman like that.
No.
That lacks in those areas because she's no help to him. She'll be a hinder to him.
And he has the right to not pick her.
Absolutely. And I don't understand why some black women get offended if a black man says, "I don't want a woman with kids." He got every right to choose that.
He has the right to not want women with kids. He don't have any kids.
Exactly, especially when he don't have any. You cannot, as black women, we cannot get in the feelings and our feelings, especially if he's honest up front. Not if he done took you to lied to you and told you I'm gonna help you take care of Pookie and Ray Ray. He done got the cookie and all of that, and now he's switching out on you. Then that's a different story because the dude deceives you. But if a man tells you you can't get in your feelings, I don't like big women, and you're a big girl, you can't get in your feelings. Go find you a chubby lover. There's
Right.
some men out there who love black big women, especially during the winter. Matter of fact, that'll probably be the good season to go looking for one. So I mean, men have their preferences. You have some men, they don't want to deal with older women. They want to deal with younger women. We cannot get mad when men got their own preference. Like one guy who we do panels and stuff together sometimes. Like Wake the Hell Up 7. He catches so much heat because he keeps stating that he don't want to date any women in America. He'd rather date foreign women. And the heat that these chicks be giving him,
What's
I'm
wrong?
like, why are you mad with 7 if he wants to date other women outside of the United States?
I mean, why they focusing on one man that they met that want to date women outside of the United States? Why don't
That,
you go find somebody that wants to date inside of the United States?
that's what I'm saying. Well,
See,
as black women, we cannot get mad if we are not chosen, if we are not in the running. That's what I'm saying. You have to make yourself selectable. That's not even a damn word, but I'm gonna say it. You got to make yourself sellable. It's kind of like if you're trying to sell a product, you want to be a qualified product. You can't put yourself out there like trash and then you in your feelings because men are overlooking you. Stop making yourself discardable. You acting like a tramp, you acting like a thought, you got all these baby daddies. You still living with your mama. You go to more clubs than you go to PTA meetings. A man of value, he's not going to pick you up. Now, the only type of dude that may pick you up is a dusty or a better male because they are on the same low budget level. But that's not even good either if you pick up a guy that's on the same level as you, because all he's going to do is pull you down and you're going to pull him down. But at the same time, that's what you're going to have to deal with because you're not qualified to be choosy and want a man of high status because you are under the radar of of a woman with substance.
That is very, very true. You know what I'm saying? You got to get on a higher level if you want somebody on a higher level.
Exactly. You can't expect a man with A+ credit and your credit below the score of 200.
Below. Ooh.
You want a man with no kids and you got 8 of them.
That's so not right for somebody to want somebody with A1 credit when they don't got no credit.
And they don't have no credit. You want a man who got a job and you ain't never worked.
You don't got no experience, not even as a housekeeper.
You want, yeah, exactly. You want a man with his own house, but you stay with your mother.
See, those are the blood sucking leeches.
And we have and the raggedy ants, like you say, because
Raggedy.
exactly because a real woman, she wants to bring something to the table. She don't want that man bringing the whole just bringing the whole table to her. She want to be able, if he gonna bring the table, she gonna bring the chairs. Any real woman is gonna look for a man who she can build with, not just use him. Because you can have more if both of you want to build together. But the problem, and I realize that's the reason why a lot of relationships are not working, is because everybody trying to use everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But if y'all are on the same accord, if y'all both are building and not trying to take, that is where y'all both can flourish and have a whole lot together. We got too many black women trying to use black men or black men trying to use black women. You know, it's everybody has this gimme attitude. It's everybody, it's too many people all out for themselves. You know, and well, the Bible said that anyway. The Bible said in our last days, man are going to become lovers of themselves. And that is the God's honest truth because everybody is only looking out for themselves. And once we have this attitude, this is the reason why we have all kind of kids that are coming here, you know, not out of love, but out of lust, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And this is the reason why you have so many black women that are bitter because there's so many black men who have used them and they put themselves in positions for the black men to use them. So we can't say it's all their fault, but at the same time, we also have some black men that are scorned brothers because they put too much time and energy into the wrong woman. They loved and cared for the wrong woman who didn't feel the same way about them. That woman may just use them for come up or use them as a rebound because the no good man she really wanted didn't want her. It's a lot of scarred people in the black community. We have a lot of black men and a lot of black women. Everybody has been used at some point. Everybody has been mistreated at some point. We have a lot of distrust in the black community. And that's why I really wish when people do these live panels, they would stop pointing fingers and placing the blame. We got black women that are blaming all black men for the fuckery of what black women go through. And we have black men that are blaming all the black women for the fuckery the black men are going through. When the truth of the matter is, we are the authors of our own story. You write the script of your life. You decide what you want out of life. And me as my own woman, can't no man destroy my life unless I allow him to destroy my life.
Agree.
And as a black man, no black woman can destroy your life unless you give her the keys, brother. You laying down with her raw, what you think gonna happen? When we are negligent and we are irresponsible, responsibility is an individual choice. That is not just a black man problem. That is not just a black woman problem. That is an individual problem. We have to be responsible for ourselves. There's too much blame in the black community. Everybody's pointing the fingers, but nobody is not really taking self accountability. And I do notice that it is more women that are not taking accountability compared to men. Do you feel like Kels, that when it comes to black men and black women with accountability, do you think black women are really owning their fuck ups? Do you think we are owning it, or you think we're not owning it? What's your opinion?
I don't think black women is owning their fuck ups. I think they are blaming everybody for their failures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
that's how I
Yeah.
see it. It's like, nobody put you in that situation. And like you said, you are the author of your own story. You don't have to be
Mm-hmm.
there if you don't want to be there.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. I've just, you have to want better out of life. Some people are comfortable with being in a struggle now. You have to be honest with you, because some people are comfortable with being in a struggle. They don't mind the 5, 6 baby daddies. You got some black women they programmed to think that's okay.
Yeah, I know a girl like that. She got 5 kids and 3 baby daddies.
Hmm. And just as comfortable. And the truth of the matter is, I kind of think it's a front. I don't think they're as comfortable as they pretend. But what it is, they have already realized, they come to realization that, okay, I done messed my life up. There's no man that's going to pick up where the last dude left off. They've already accepted it. It's not, we don't have a lot of janitors in the black community. We don't have a lot of janitors. Ain't too many dudes trying to be the cleanup man. And I can understand that.
I can too
I
because
can understand that.
that's a lot
I,
to clean up.
yeah, I don't take it personal if a man says, I don't want to deal with a woman that got a bunch of children. How am I gonna get mad at that? Because you know what? I was the same way as a black woman. I did not want a man with a bunch of kids. I always ran from dudes who had a bunch of baby mamas. Because for one, whenever you meet a grown man or a grown woman who has a bunch of baby mamas or baby daddies, that shows me the first sign that you are an irresponsible human being. You straight irresponsible. And I don't care if you're a man or a woman. You
I,
irresponsible. If you got all of these baby mamas and baby daddies, that's not a good look. It shows
that's
me you will lay with any and everybody. Yeah, and like Cruz says, everything's the man's fault. And regardless of what, because let's be frank, it's a lot of women, as we already know, Kels, they're not going to take accountability.
at all.
It's just it's not too many. I've known a few sisters that was frank and said, girl, sis, I messed up. I knew I should have known. I didn't use no protection. I didn't get on no birth control. I put myself in this position. There's not too many women that are going to come clean and say that. But you know what? They don't have to acknowledge it, because the proof is in the pudding. When they go home at night and got to take care of them 5, 6 kids who they wouldn't take accountability for, that they didn't protect themselves from not having them, it don't matter. The stress is going to fall in their pocket. So you don't never have to admit how wrong you were and how irresponsible you were, because you're going to still have to live with the mistakes you make. So that's cool. I tell people, if you don't never have to own your shit. As a black man, black woman, you don't have to own it. But guess what? Your shit gonna own you.
Yes, it
The
is.
mistakes you make is gonna
Oh,
own you. Your problems are gonna own you. They're not gonna go away, whether you admit that you was wrong or not. It's not gonna take the heat off of you. I don't worry about these black women that won't take accountability and say I done had too many baby daddies. That's what I get for being hot in the ass and letting every dude bang my back out. She ain't never got that admitted. Guess what? Them 8, 9 kids she had, they ain't going nowhere.
it's already been admitted.
It's already, the proof is in the pudding. The
So,
proof is in the
but
pudding. I don't take it personal. I've been stopped getting mad at these young broads these black women who will not own they F ups. Because they got to live with it anyway.
that's why they don't want to own it because they're living in it.
Exactly. They're living it. And honestly, another reason why some of these black women won't take accountability, because they're embarrassed.
What they got to understand is you're not the first and you won't be the last.
Exactly.
There,
Exactly.
there's no need to be embarrassed.
Exactly. There's other women out there that have made the same poor choices. And the thing is, what you could do, that's what upsets me about some of the black women in the black community. They won't try to school these other young women, and we talked about this earlier. They won't school the next generation from not falling in that trap. Cruz says, he got me pregnant. He didn't use a rubber, all his fault. I tell women all the time, if you meet a man and you decide you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna take this brother back to your apartment, your mama house, whoever the hell you stay with, and you decide to lay down with this man, it is not his job from that point on, as a grown woman, when you pull down your panties, whatever happens from there, that is your fault. You have to protect your kingdom. You have to protect your kingdom. When it comes to a castle, I don't know if y'all remember like some of the stories, the castles, how kings and queens, how they had guards outside of that castle. You not
Right.
anybody just had access to into that castle. You had to go through a whole lot of people before you enter that castle. Problem is, as women, black women, we're not protecting ourselves. We letting ourselves go. We have put ourselves in a position to where we can easily become discardable. You meet a man and you bring him back to your crib. You don't know him. He don't know you. You don't even know his last name. You know nothing about him other than you met him at the club on 53rd Street, ladies' night.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you don't know him.
Don't learn from a
You
can of paint.
exactly. You bring him to your crib and you laying with this dude. You don't have no birth control. You ain't made this dude put on no condom. How dare you, when you bust up pregnant or you find out you got an STD, how the hell you gonna get in your feelings and get mad with the man and say he should have used condom? Why he ain't use no condom? Why he ain't tell me he had AIDS? He slept with me knowing he had something and he ain't tell me. Really?
Mm-mm-mm.
And it's getting worse and worse and worse. And when I hear a grown woman talk like a little girl, I don't know how it happened. I know you heard it, Kels. You ever had a girlfriend that shared a sexcapade story with you? And she
Yes.
was like, yeah, I met this dude and one thing led to another. What the fuck you mean one
One.
thing led to another?
That's my question. That's why I stopped that too. Like, what you? How did it lead from one
What you
thing to another?
mean? You was walking and tripping, slipping, landed on the dick? Is that what happened?
Man.
And you just landed on it? It just happened. When I hear a grown woman talk like that, that boils my potato. That boils me like a potato. When a grown woman can't give me a real
That's because
explanation as to why
they're
she slept with a man raw.
yeah. She's trying to hide her whole ass ways.
Hoism,
Tell us how
possum
wrong
behavior.
it was. That's what happened.
I don't know how it happened. So you mean to tell me when you left the club, you left the club with dude, invited the dude to your crib. You don't know how the hell y'all got there? Didn't you lay him into your house? Didn't you lay him into your apartment? Didn't you let him into your bedroom? Didn't you pull down your panties? You don't know how it happened? How you don't know what the hell happened?
Yeah, you don't know what happened. Okay.
It just happened. I can't stand. That's just why I don't have female friends, because I call them out on their bullshit every time, Kale. They don't want to
Yeah.
be friends me alone.
I have a ball calling them out on their bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I call them out and then I don't hear from them no more.
they don't get no more advice from me. I know how that feel. I had a friend that didn't speak to me for like weeks.
As a black woman, you a real black woman, you're not gonna keep no friends because when you call these bras out on their bullshit, oh, they get hot with you. I don't lost. Let me tell you, I lost so many goddamn friends last year. I was calling them helpers out on so much shit they couldn't take my mouth no more. They're like, man, fuck Mocha. She just exposing me to my bullshit. I can't stand her. I'm telling you, I got bras who hate me. They don't even tell me their business no more. Cause they be like, nah, I ain't telling Mocha nothing. Not so she could sit up
Yeah,
and tell me about my goddamn self. When
I be
you
telling
real
I'm
and
not the person to get advice from if you if you bring your
yeah,
problem to me.
especially, but the thing is, and what makes it so bad, if you live what you preach, girl, they can't stand that shit. They can't stand it. They really can't stand me because they know I got the room to say the shit I say. You know what I'm saying? I could sit up there and tell another female, yeah, you don't need to have these 6 kids and these 6 baby daddies, because they know I ain't did it. So they can't retract me. They can't throw it up in my face. Well, you doing it. You on your 6, 7 child. See, they can't do that with me.
That is
And
so
so,
true.
so when you live in what you preach, you're not gonna have no friends. I'm telling you, because they want to call you out on the same shit they do. Thoughts can only be friends with other thoughts. You know why? Because that other thought can't call a thought out on her thought behavior.
No, they be calling each other out all day.
Yeah, they're not even going. They know they can't even say nothing. Another hoe is not going to call another hoe out if y'all doing whole shit. Basically, they can't call. That's why a black woman that handles her business, she's not going to have many friends. Ratchet females don't want to deal with real black women
That's true. That's real true.
because you gonna call them out on stuff and they can't throw it back. You know what I mean? They can't be like, oh well, girl, you need to get your life in order. This and that. A lot of them can't. Not too many of them could call you out when you got your stuff in alignment, when you got your stuff in order. They can't call you out. So real women, black women who handle their business, you're not going to have many black friends because you can't relate to her struggle.
Mm-mm.
Anytime as a black woman, you can't relate to another black woman's struggle, you're going to become a threat to her. She's going to become threatened by you. A lot of females not going to bubble with you when you live in your life a certain way, especially if your lifestyle is clean. She don't want to be friends with you because she's going to automatically become intimidated by you. She's going to become threatened by you. Long as we both doing the same dirt together, we can relate. I let John,
It's so true.
huh?
What you're saying, that is so true.
You can't relate. Let me tell you something. My last friend, we could not relate because all she talked about was her 5 kids, and I couldn't relate to that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that, yep, I know how that is. I have friends that I couldn't relate to because they talk about their kids, and I can't relate.
That's what I'm saying. Real black women can't relate to ratchet black women.
No,
But
I
let me
can't relate.
tell you something. When I talk to certain black women, right, my head start hurting when they start talking to me about their kids. Cause I'm
Oh,
like, I can't even phantom all the shit you saying right now. All this,
yeah.
my kids this, my kids that. Girl, my one daughter about grown. I don't want to hear nothing about, little churn, story, and not that I got a problem with my friends if they have a little one, a little bit, we talk here and there, but I can't talk about that all day long. I
I
cannot
know.
listen to you, huh?
I know, like, you don't have like young kids like they do. So
Yeah,
you know
you
what I
you
mean?
can't
Like,
relate.
what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to remember back when your
That's
daughter
what I'm saying.
like,
I can't listen to their sescapade story. I don't want to hear about how the last dude had you bent like a pretzel.
oh,
How He hit it from the back. He hit it from the left. He hit it from the right. He screwed you in the back parking lot of Waffle House. I don't want to hear that shit because I'm nowhere. I'm just not mentally on that level. You know what I mean? I'm a married woman. That
Oh,
stuff
she,
I just can't. I ain't trying to hear none of that.
no to the Waffle House.
Yeah, that exactly. Cruz says, I can't say no. He was too charming. I was drunk. If I hear the goddamn drunk excuse from another black woman again, I just can't do it. I'm tired of hearing I was drunk. It just happened. I was
Got
high.
drunk. If
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
was
get
drunk,
drunk,
all
I'm gonna
right.
do it right here
Wait,
and
y'all went all the way to
privacy
his
of my own
apartment.
space so I can just pass out.
Yeah. First of all, that's what I'm saying. As black women, we have to start putting ourselves in discardable situations. First of all, let me tell you something. I've never been the type of female. I don't drink and smoke with dudes I don't know. I've never done that, even before I got married, because I don't need something to just happen. I'm not going to no dude's apartment after the club. I don't know how
Oh,
many homeboys you got there that's planning on running the train on me.
you already know that's the type of deal it is.
That's what I'm saying.
They
Well,
come
what a lot of women do stupid shit like that.
and
If a man inviting you to his house after 10 o'clock, what the hell you think gonna happen? He's not inviting you over to his crib to watch Netflix.
oh no, you're not gonna be watching Netflix for too long.
No, you gonna become a porn flick and he gonna have you right in it.
You know, you
I ain't going to no dude house because you gonna look for something. What we gonna do? Sit there and sit on your sofa and watch Hulu after 10 o'clock at night?
Hulu.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's basic common sense. I'm not going to your crib for something to happen because you're gonna look for something. I'm not inviting you to my crib. It
No,
Females meet guys for the first time. I had a girlfriend that was like that. She would meet guys at the club and bring them to her house that same night.
no, you're not. You can't just bring any old body to your home.
No, for one, my home is my personal domain. My home is if I was out there like that, my home is going to be for my main man, somebody I'm in a relationship with. Ain't no random dude coming to my house to see what my bedspread look like.
No, you can't come by at all.
He can't come by at all. I'm not bringing you on my in my personal domain.
I'm not even
You're
gonna tell you what street I stay on.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you do that? That's how women and stuff get killed. Y'all don't watch enough for goddamn. I
They
watch I
have
Discovery.
criminal minds and
Yeah, girl, I watch all that shit. That shit got me paranoid as hell. I be looking at shit all kind of way. Girl, I could be at the club with my husband and see a girl drunk up and walk out the club with the nigga, and I be like, oh hell, if her body turn up missing, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I just be
that's
paranoid, you know what I mean?
that criminal mind.
Yeah, my husband, he don't like me watching that shit because he think I'm a poison his ass. He feel like I watch too much Snap episodes. You don't need to be watching that because I don't need you getting no ideas. He don't like me watching stuff like that because he think I'm trying to plot on him. Yeah, doggo, yeah, doggo. I ain't never brought no dude to my crib that wasn't my man.
No, no. I drive. You know, when I used to go out, I drove. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I was saying, if you're gonna do the grown woman, grown man thing, you do that at a hotel or something like that. Ain't no first of all, you don't need to see what my bedroom look like.
shit.
You don't need to know what my bedroom look like. You don't need to be on my $200 sheets because I don't want none of you left behind. I I don't want your fluids. I don't want nothing of you left behind in my house.
Right. Or what if he had like a satanic aura? It's like, ooh, I
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
have.
yeah. I don't, you know what I'm saying? And you know, in that moment, fluids are transferring, right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't want his fluid left on my $300 bedspread that I got from Bath Bed and Beyond. That's supposed to be a personal environment for me and my man or my dude we're in a relationship with. You just don't bring random dudes to your habitat, especially when you got kids. And it's women who got kids. Them be the main ones that be doing that. Why do you bring different dudes from the club to your house where you know you keep your children? Why would you do that? It's that's what I'm saying. There's too many black women that are making themselves discardable. You
Very
bring a
hard.
dude to your crib and he don't know you like that, you making yourself discardable. I'm not bringing you to my crib and I'm not making you no breakfast the next day. You ain't my main man to be making no breakfast from. I'm not feeding you out my kitchen. I'm not about to scramble you no eggs and no sausage and no salmon and grits and shrimp. No, 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 no. You not my main man to be giving you my main man privileges.
I know, like
My
salmon.
main man.
You have the nerve to ask for salmon?
Yeah, and for
Like,
salmon. You don't even need to ask for cereal. That
no.
because for that's not that y'all not on that level like that. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate because it's too many black women that are straying away from being classy. We're losing so much class. We don't care how we dress. You know, we show all the goodies when we go to the club. We don't leave nothing to the imagination. A lot of black women don't realize, like the guys in here were saying, like they would prefer a woman that dressed like Sade. You can be sexy and classy at the same time. You don't have to be a thought to be sexy. Leave something to the imagination. There's too many black women that are advertising the ass like a billboard on the highway. Everybody just gets
Attention,
to.
attention whores.
Yeah, just straight attention whores. And there's so many of them and social media done made it worse. Nah, they don't even have to go to the club and show all their assets. All they do is post 1,000 pictures on Facebook showing everything. Marty W say shrimp and grits. Can I pay you for a plate? But it make it so bad. But you know what? But the reason why these females carry themselves in that manner is because there are still guys that are checking for them. It's still dudes. Dudes will go to these females' apartments. They don't care how dirty their apartment is. They don't care how trashy their apartment is. These dudes will walk all through the trash just to get to that ass. They don't
Yeah.
care about it.
Yup. They'll swim through that trash just to get to that
They,
ass.
they will play hopscotch in her living room to get to her bedroom.
Instead of running up out of there.
Yeah, they let me tell you something. If she got a dirty ass mattress, you don't think she dirty? What if a female got a dirty house, you trust that she has good hygiene?
They don't pay no attention to that. They just want to swim through their trash to get to that ass.
Yep, that I evidently I have heard some horrific stories. I have had a lot of my male subscribers tell me some horrifying sexcapade stories.
Horrifying. It should be like sexy. When you say horrifying, you
Girl,
gotta
I
think, why did you put
listen.
yourself in that position?
Girl, I tell you, I don't the stuff that guys tell me that shit be having me bugging because I just never heard. I just okay. For instance, I heard a guy tell me he was hitting this chick from the back, and I guess as he was spreading the cheeks, give me a moment.
Okay.
'Cause I'm trying to,
Okay, I'm trying to hold it in.
I'm trying to tell a story with a straight goddamn face. Give me a
Okay.
moment, y'all. Just hold on. Okay. All right, I think I'm getting myself together. Okay. He was spreading the cheeks. We got adults in here. I pray we got adults in here. And he saw that she had some doodoo. I'm trying to think.
Her ass night, lady? Didn't you know you had doodles caked up in your ass crack?
I'm sorry. Yo, listen, yo, I'm trying to tell this story. I'm trying to tell it to the best of my ability. I apologize. He spread and he saw the doodoo
Ooh.
and he said even it freaked him out. That he saw she ain't clean her ass as he was banging her out. All he said he did, he closed the cheeks like a curtain and he finished. He just
What?
kept pushing.
He
The
still
hell
did.
closed. He closed her cheeks and kept going. I said, bro, is you serious?
He closed her cheeks. I can't.
Yeah, I'm telling you. he said, all thing he could do was close the cheeks and keep finish.
That's
I,
horrifying and
I
probably
was like,
about boring
yo,
as it was done.
that's what yeah. Marty says, hold your nose and keep stroking, and that's just what I'm telling you. Thanks, priest. Thanks, priest. Priest admitted it. We nasty, damn straight. Yo, I was like, golly, damn. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've heard stuff worse than that. I ain't even gonna tell no more of the shit I heard because then I'm gonna have to put this on Patreon. This video gonna get flagged like a goddamn. If I ain't even about to tell no more. Mug says, no, you're supposed to say wash your ass. Well, he ain't tell her. All he did was close the cheeks back. That's what he did.
I'm
And
sure
he,
she needs to wash her
he,
ass.
he,
She should be ashamed of herself.
he said he's all he did was he kept the cheeks together. He pushed them both together, and he just kept he kept going on and making sure that the cheeks wouldn't open back up where he saw the doodle again.
Oh, because he would have puked right on her.
I said, but yo, you knew the moment once you got there. You saw her house was nasty. You saw her mattress was nasty. That already told you, let you know what you was in for. You already knew what you was in there for. What you thought? You know what I'm saying? If she don't even have a clean sheet on her bed, come on. That meant, that meant she intentionally went to the club with her house nasty. If you go to this broad's house and you may have at a club or something like that, that meant she knew that house was nasty and she got dressed up any goddamn way and still went to the club. That's basically what I'm gathering from that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I've just come to the reality that hey, dudes don't care. You know what I'm saying? Your house
Oh,
is nasty. It could look like Hurricane Katrina hit your crib. You know, you could not. You got a dirty ass mattress. A dude will bang you on a dirty mattress. As far as they concerned, they ain't got to stay there. They don't have to. They don't have to live there. They ain't moving in with you. I mean, the Princess Motel, $49 2 hours. Some dudes don't even want to pay $49.
no, they will swim through the trash to get to that ass.
Yeah, that's what they will swim through the trash to get through that ass. That's the new motto. They don't care. You could look like the goddamn crib keeper. They don't care about how you look. Guess what? You could be white trash when the lights go out. Everybody black as far as they're concerned. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it
Right.
is what it is. You know what I mean? And but this is the reason why we have so much problems in the black community because we overlook stuff like that. And then these are the same chicks who be getting knocked up. Do they not realize that dirty chicks are fertile as hell? The nastier woman keeps her house, the more fertile her
Yeah.
womb is. Do they not understand that?
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't
Because
understand.
her house is trashy. She collects trash on the regular. So you
It's
think her
her
womb can't?
house.
You think her vagina can't collect no trash?
They
house
should
goddamn
house.
trashy. You know, them old dirty ass heifers is fertile as hell. Yeah, they got wombs that are like the dirt double vacuum, just suck up the first, suck up the first
Yeah,
drop of sperm. Just straight, just straight fertile. You know what I mean? These are the chicks who get knocked up. And the thing about it is, dudes will complain about these chicks, call them nasty trash sluts, but you will lay with these type of females. And then these are the women who you expect to have accountability. How you think a trashy whore is going to have accountability? Y'all want to get on these YouTube streets and say, yeah, these black women don't take themselves accountable. Why would they? They trashy and you banging them anyway, so they not what they gonna take accountability for.
you hit the doo doo crumb snatcher.
It's underrated. Darkness says sometimes the house smell like a pet farm. Yeah, and still
Ew.
right there in that damn pet farm. They don't give a damn. Let me say something. How many of my brothers in this chat room want to admit that you banged some backs on some dirty ass masters? Bring your ass to the altar. Please step forward. If you bring out some dirty chicks on some dirty mattresses, please step to the altar because you need prayer. I'm
Right.
going to pray that spirit off of you. But you to stop bang out these chicks that's sleeping on dirty mattresses. She don't even have a mattress. She got a box frame. How
Oh,
many of my box frame brothers want to come forward?
go ahead and come forward.
Come on now, come clean. Y'all talking about accountability. Let's start with accountability in this damn chat room. I need my brothers to come forward who been banging some backs out on some box frames, not a mattress, because she don't have a mattress. Rena Center them took her damn mattress, but they left the
Reminiscent
damn box frame. So how many of you
mattress.
brothers want to admit that you've been banging out some backs on some box frames? Step forward. I know you out there. I know you out there somewhere. Okay, few of y'all trying to come clean. I appreciate that. I appreciate some honesty in the chat room. But yes, we need to be honest. Men, when you lay down with these type of women, these are the women that are breeding children like roaches. Realize that when you go and bang these chicks out on a box frame and you don't use no protection, you will be the pappy. Okay?
Real talk.
You're going to be the
Baby.
pappy and you're not going to be happy. And these are the dudes that will get on the live panels and call all black women ain't crap. All black women ain't shit. No, the female you was banging, she the one that was that shit in her booty crack, but that didn't stop you.
Nope. You kept on. You closed the cheek and went on with it.
Girl, that story is not. I hate that I brought that up because now I'm gonna be thinking about that for the rest of the goddamn evening. I mess myself up mentally with that. That's some bullshit. I never shouldn't even brought up that story. Now I'm gonna just see open and closed cheeks. That's gonna be in my goddamn mind for the rest of the evening.
Oh, that's too
Y'all,
and disgusting at the same time.
it is. It is. It is. It is. Don't care. I when I see some of these chicks be pregnant, the first thing I'm thinking is what dude impregnated you?
I know. I can't
When
even.
I see a damn a botched up looking broad that's built like a goddamn box,
Ooh.
and I see that she's pregnant, first thing I'm thinking like, how that
Hat.
happened?
I know.
You ever seen an ugly chick knocked up cows and you wonder how that happened?
I do. I be wondering. I be like wondering, and these, sometimes these be the same guys who be like really picky about their women now. She got to be like the Halle Berry
Kicking
type.
my ass.
And
They
this,
they
wait a
they
minute,
will
listen,
school any
oh,
goddamn farm animal, especially if it's goddamn they on a damn dick drought. When they on a dick drought and they just want to get laid, any goddamn body will do. Picking my
yeah,
goddamn ass. A lot of you brothers out here messing with these goddamn farm animals, and you wonder why these farm animals, these box built looking chicks are out of pocket, cause y'all brothers done give them all this delusional confidence Y'all screwing them and talking bad about them on these live panels, but y'all be banging these chicks 2, 3 in the morning when
And be
nobody see
and,
y'all, and
and
y'all
peep
be
this out.
complaining about them on your live panels. You know y'all be banging these box built broads.
Yeah,
You
those things.
bang them out, bruh. You want to come on these panels and act all brand new. I don't like this kind of woman. Oh shoot, I don't like big women. Man, they be screwing
But
plenty of
not,
big women out there. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. I see you. I see you. I see you. I ain't gonna tell nobody. I ain't gonna tell your wife. It's all good
you know what I'm saying?
or whatever. So yeah, it's and all jokes aside, I know I've been playing and messing around on this thing, but I really want black women to stop making themselves discardable. Stop, overly advertising your assets, thinking that the more you show your ass, the more a man is gonna want you and gonna want to be with you. He's just gonna be with you for that moment. You is not somebody he's going to wife. You're not somebody, you know what I mean? And same thing with you dudes out here. If you notice a chick you're not going to wife, don't bang her in the raw. Do not put a ring on your penis if you're not going to put a ring on her. It's as simple as it is. You know what I mean? Stop. You got to protect yourselves as black men and black women. We have to take accountability. There's too much recklessness with the ratchet behavior. Black men, black women, we have to learn how to educate ourselves. We got to protect ourselves. Don't let lust overrule common sense. Use your wisdom, use your knowledge, use your understanding. Start educating these young people that are coming up behind you. We got a new generation of young black men and young black women that are getting ready to come up into the world. They need to be schooled. They need to be prepared for reality. They need to know what's good. So before I get ready to shut it down, Kels, what are some points that you would like to give to these black women out here who are not conducting themselves as black women, as decent black women, and basically they are putting themselves in a position of being discardable?
Please don't put yourself in a position of being discardable in the situation that you're in to make yourself better. So, you know what I'm saying? Like my brother Crew always say, prevention is protection. Don't put yourself in a situation you're going to regret. So,
Mm-hmm.
my black women, save yourselves. Do not become discardable. And if you do, don't complain about it. Just get it together and quick.
I couldn't agree more, Kels. And I'm working on 2 books right now. I'm working on a book. If y'all like the majority of the content that I do, I'm working on a book called DNA, A Broken Woman's Disease, Dick and Attention. I'm working on that. It's going to be a really good
I
read. Yep, I'm working
I'll
on that.
be that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's going to be the business. If y'all like the majority of the content I do, you're definitely going to like that. And I'm also working on another book called Deceptions and Lies Between Black Thighs. I'm also
Oh,
working on that as well. So I got a lot of good projects that are coming up. It's going to be very entertaining read, but it's going to be a good read. The same thing I do here on the YouTube streets is what I'm going to be putting in my books. Some of my books are going to be way more detailed because I'm writing them down and I'm breaking down everything down to the lowest common denominator. So if you like the content, um, you definitely going to like the books that I'm putting out. So my advice, since you gave advice to the ladies, I'm gonna give advice to the men out there. If you go to a chick house and you see she don't have a fitted sheet put on her mattress, if she's not willing to protect her own goddamn mattress, how the hell you think she protected herself?
mm.
If she ain't got nothing on her mattress, she ain't got nothing on herself. So it is what it is. As black men and black women, stop blaming each other. Take accountability for your actions. Protect yourself. It's not up to you for the other person to protect you. You got to protect you. Poetic. Also, when do you plan on doing your poetry thing or whatever? Are you going to send me an email to let me know when you plan on doing that?
I was remember you was asking me. I was asking you if you wanted to do it on your channel.
Oh, it don't matter to me. We could pick a night. I think I think it was Cool Gent also who wanted to do it. So yeah, I could actually set up a poetry night. I'm a spoken word poetry because I actually like going to places like that.
I think those
Um,
nice. I've been to one.
oh, those things are nice. I went to one in Atlanta and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
I've
like
one in that
clean,
too.
yeah, clean black entertainment. It was really nice. It was different.
Yeah, I like the vibe in there, and plus how the live band was playing while they were speaking their words. I say, "Ooh, I wish I was up there with my poetry."
Girl, I love stuff like that because I do poetry. I dabble in it. I've written poetry for years. I
Yes,
just haven't in a while, but I would definitely love for us to do a little poetry showcase night, a spoken word night. I think that's a wonderful idea. I'm down by law with doing that, so I think yeah, we can definitely do that. So I'll definitely get with you and Cool Gent and whoever else. I think that'd be a remarkable thing
and
for us
then
to
I got
do.
one more thing that I wanted to ask.
Sure.
They're not copyrighted unless he says they are. I'll check with him, but I have some really nice beats
Oh, okay.
that could
Yeah.
play in the background while we do our poetry.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I'm all for positive stuff like that. Yes, I agree, priest. You know, I'm working on some things. I'm trying to make my brand a little bigger and better. And yeah, I already know y'all not gonna leave the dirty mattress holes alone, priest. I have accepted
And
that.
the ones who got dried up doo doo in their butt crack.
Yeah, I've accepted
That,
that.
let's get it together.
Yep, I'm not even going to try to convince y'all because I know some of y'all just trifling as hell, and that's okay. I love my black people anyhow. So yeah, it's definitely been wonderful, and we're gonna Tuesday. I'll see if we could do another non-ratchet movement segment, and I definitely want to get my with my guys soon because I haven't gotten with them yet. So all is well. So we hope that y'all learned something from this content. Also, if you want to hit up Poetic Kels, she has her own channel as well. So stop by and give her a holler, check out, you know, whenever you get a chance to do that. On that note, we're going to get ready to shut it down. This is your girl, Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth and break you off with a slice of knowledge. Take care. Bye, y'all.
Peace.